It is time for year 4 and the make or break season for Jared May, who's on an expiring contract, and we'll have a lot of things to figure out there when it comes to what his performance can be. Now, also at the running back position, Calvin Cashma, our first round draft pick, is going to be taking over for Clinton Portis, who has been on this team for a number of years, a number of 1,000-yard seasons, and we even got him a 20-touchdown season just 2 years ago. So it's going to be big shoes to fill for the 5'7", undersized, speedy, agile running back. At wide receiver, we said goodbye to Antoine Randall last year, who had a 1,300-yard season, but we scaled back on the offense a little bit because we couldn't afford to allocate all that money into everybody. So Hines Ward is going to take like a veteran deal to, fill in as that number 3 receiver. The offensive line still looking great. On defense, Calais Campbell, who forced his way out of Arizona. We brought him in. We're going to be signing him to an extension today as promised. So it's going to be big to get Calais Campbell on this team, lock him up for the long term. And then in the second round, we drafted Edwin Smith. I took 2 defensive linemen. Trey Dutch did not really help us out all that much. He's not that good, but Edwin Smith is that good. 91 potential and a lot of skills that we could work with. 23 years old, will be giving him the start. As well, Marcus Long, a surprise 89 potential undrafted free agent. Now, that's good and bad because he could be really good, but the bad thing is he's on a 1-year deal, and I don't know if I want to extend him on a big contract because he's probably going to command a lot of money due to his potential. So that's going to be something that we monitor this season. Mike Vrabel still doing his thing at his old age. Thomas Howard kicking into middle linebacker because we said goodbye to London Fletcher, and in his spot we got lights out Sean Merriman, who is going to be a massive player for this defense, as well as his Charger teammate Antonio Cromartie filling in as that new number 1 corner that we were looking for. So 2 absolute star players on defense there. And then with another first-round pick, this is what we got by trading a 4th-round pick in Antoine Randall. We got Brady Weidenhofer, who's an older 25-year-old safety, but a player that we needed badly because of how bad our safety position was last year. He looks like he could be a nice player for us, maybe not a superstar, but a very reliable starter. And Laurent Landry been the mainstay of this defense for years now, and I don't know if we'll ever be seeing him part ways with this team anytime soon. But you could see there, made a couple of premium selections, didn't have a 3rd-round pick, really loaded up on the day 3 stuff as well. But like I said, this is a big year. Jared May is on an expiring contract. He was not a 1st-round pick. He has 1 year left on his deal. He'll be a restricted free agent, but a team will be able to offer him a big deal so that we would potentially be forced to match him on the contract. So this could be the last year of Jared May. Now, there are some believers. There were some people in the comments. I believe in Jared May. For me, working close with him, I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but, we have some offensive changes that we'll get into. But first, before we head into week 1, we got ourselves the draft stories, and we'll see if there's maybe any quarterbacks or any other players to keep an eye on.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network here with your college football update. Quarterback Corey Bobo from Maryland has started off strong this month, leading the Terps to a 3-0 start with big wins over then number 1 USC 27-20 in the season opener and number 15 Clemson the week after. Bobo has moved to the top of the Heisman watch list after those performances. I also have my eye on this receiver out of Oregon named Roderick Porter. He had a great sophomore season last year with over 75 catches and now started this season out with games of 14 and 12 catches. Pretty impressive. Great production. Watch out for him as the season progresses. Those are some terrific numbers.
So, of course, the first player they, speak about is a quarterback, but we head into week 1 and we start the 4th quarter. We're up by 1 over Philly, but May takes a sack off the bat. So I did want to bring up how we are moving things a little bit differently on offense. We don't have Clinton Portis to lean on. We're going to be trying to open up the offense a little bit and really see if Jared May has what it takes. I want to make a concerted effort to get the football to our tight end a little bit more. We have Chris Cooley, and he hasn't been much of a factor the last 2 years. We also had some new plays in the playbook like this one. Cashman is going to take the direct snap and run for a 1st down as May dropping to throw. Quick pass underneath. That's not going to get much, but that's DeFazio Combs makes for 2. Second down and 8. May is going to float one for Combs. He's got it, and he had to come back for the football, only get 5 yards, but it'll be 3rd down and 3 as May is got the pressure in. He gets the pass off, and it's Hines Ward who puts the ball on the ground, and it's scooped up by Santana Moss. Touchdown! And that's not a conventional way to score a touchdown, but we got into the end zone regardless. 29-21 is your score, and that is going to be a pass missed by Kevin Cobb. 3rd down and 10. Blitz sent in. It gets picked up. Cobb knocked away, and that was a nice play by Thomas Howard. So we'll receive the punt, and back deep Santana Moss, multiple-time Pro Bowl return man, as he is going to take it. Get a nice little return there. Get it close to midfield. Good field position, and with 3.5 to go, juke outside, and I think Cashmont kind of jumped the gun there. He's going to lose yardage. Now on 3rd down and long, that's going to be caught. Fazio Combs has it to the 34-yard line, and now we go back on the ground. Cashmont is going to break a tackle. He's going to slip through, and that's a nice little run there. That's how you turn a short gain into a bigger one, as that's 1st down and 10. It's going to be a draw. Cashmont is going to set us up with 2nd down and 5. That's all you really need here. Just set us up in good 2nd down scenarios. It's what Clinton Portis did really well for us. He didn't always have home run hitters, but that ball on 3rd down and 2 is going to be a loss of 4, and we'll try the field goal. Kick is off the post. No good. And that is brutal, because that keeps it a 1-score game. Now the defense needs to make a stop here. Cobb's going to have 9 yards, 46 seconds to go. Eagles got no timeouts. That ball swatted at the line. Great job there, as now 3rd down and 1. Protection in, wide open over the middle. That's caught, and he takes a shot, but he is going to have this Eagles offense at the 44-yard line. Cobb rushing everybody back to the line. Will they go for the spike, or will they try to make a play out of it, as Cobb got 5 wide. He's going to throw it, and protection really good again. Over the middle. That was overthrown, and Weidenhofer had a chance at that one, but he swats it down. Eagles also making a mistake here, getting back to the line with 27 seconds to go. They commit a false start, so back them up. And we don't want to see a repeat of what happened last year. We can't lose it at the last second, but they can certainly take it to overtime, and that's going to be a completion. They're still out of timeouts, though. That was a good job to tackle him inbounds. 20 seconds and clock running. 3rd down and 1. Cobb back to the line. He's going to make some adjustments. It looked like they're going to spike the football here and just set up for a 4th down and 1. They do. 12 seconds to play. 4th down and 1. Game on the line here. Cobb, he's looking. He's throwing for the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown! And double coverage! But they still did the 2-point conversion with 6 seconds to play. Defense, you got another chance to shut the door on this one. Cobb, it is broken up! And Antonio Cromartie comes up with the big pass breakup, as that seemingly will put an end to this one. And that was way more nerve-wracking than it needed to be. We should have hit the field goal to seal it. We shouldn't have allowed a touchdown in double coverage, but we got the stop in the end, and Jared May plays a solid week 1, over 70% completion percentage, only 1 interception, which has kind of become the norm, that he's at least going to throw a pick in every game, but you just want to make sure he doesn't throw 2 or 3. But Fazio Combs with a touchdown. Santana Moss has 92 yards, and Cashmont catches a touchdown through the air. Some of the offensive changes weren't fully prevalent in this game, but we are trying to attack the middle of the field a little bit more. We have a tough, very tough matchup up next. How about on the road at New England, one of the toughest teams to play against? In the first play, it's an interception. Jared May throws it right at a linebacker. And in a 13-12 game, Brady has it in good position to take the lead here at the 38, as they'll go throw it. And right at the defender, Antonio Cromartie should have had a pick there. But now 3rd down and 10. It's going to be Lawrence Maroney for a short gain. And from the 36, guess I don't trust their kicker. They're going to punt this football, and that ball is going to land right down at the 3. And we'll be backed up a long way, as that's going to be a handoff. Cashmont to the edge. He gets us out of the danger potential of a safety, gets it to the 13-yard line, but then a backfield stop is going to make us lose 4. Go to the other side. That's going to lose yards as well, so we're right back at the 7-yard line. And an injury, Howard Sanders is going to be out. That's our right tackle gone. That's brutal. 3rd down and 16. May is going to have it completed. And Fazio Combs, whenever you need a big play, there's Combs to make it. As right up the middle, and the Patriots are just shooting every run gap right now. 2nd down and 13. May, middle, floating that one. That was a little too much of a rubber ducky out there, as that's going to be a penalty as well. So not only did they float that pass up in real harm's way, we're going to get a hold. So it's going to be 2nd down and 23 as May finds an open man out of the backfield. We'll occasionally line up guys like Moss and Combs in the backfield, slip them out in a little route, and not only do we get a solid gain, but we do get a penalty. So gets undo the hold because New England with a 15-yard face mask, and all of a sudden we are at the 43-yard line as we go play action, and May rolling, he's throwing outside, and that's going to be caught out of bounds. Didn't get a foot in as May is going to go the other way, and look who it is! DeFazio Combs gets lit up and he couldn't hang on. I can't even blame him as New England gets the football back. And those are the types of hospital balls you don't want your quarterback throwing to your superstar receivers, as that's going to be a completion to Wes Welker. 49-yard line handoff. Maroney is going to break a tackle, and Lawrence Maroney to the 44. And now 2nd down and 3. Maroney in the backfield gets brought down, and now it's a loss of 3, 3rd down and 6. Brady has got it underneath, and he's not going to get the 1st down. That was Sean Merriman getting out there just in time, and another punt from New England is going to be another pretty good one. That one's going to be down at the 11-yard line, and we got to go drive the length of the field on this Patriot defense, and we can't run the football at all. They are just shooting every gap. 3rd down is going to be on its way with a sack. And now it's 18 yards to go from the 3. Play action. May just going to throw it short, and guess we'll have to punt the football and trust the defense again. From the 44-yard line, the Patriots are inching closer to field goal range if they can get a 1st down here. 2-minute warning approaching. 2nd down and 10. We shoot the gap this time, and it's been great defense on both sides. 3rd down and 13. They run the football, and they're not going to get anywhere. And both teams are just stuffing the run. It's up to Jared May again to try to do something. Cashma wide open. He couldn't keep himself in bounds, but he still got 11, but he could have been off to the races there. Now over the middle, Santana Moss hangs on. 15 yards, 1:30 to go. We're going to try to run the football one time, and I just don't know if that's even worth trying. 3rd down and 10 as May. He's going to go deep. One-on-one. It's caught. Santana Moss up top. And we're in field goal range as the handoff. Cashmont, there you go. Just keep it up the middle 6 yards. Make sure we can get this field goal attempt as close as possible. 1st down carry there. Cashmont to the 15. 37 seconds to go. Another handoff. Another positive yard gain. And this is where we want to see the run game pick up. Make this field goal as easy as humanly possible. With 30 seconds to go, we're ticking this clock down. 3 seconds, we burn a timeout, and for the win to beat New England on the road. Kick is good, and that is a massive victory. And what a job from the defense to hold this Patriot offense. Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and Tom Brady to just 13 points. And now we're looking at this team so far and saying, man, maybe the defense is the strength of this team right now. Jared May, no touchdowns and a pick. Cashmont, I mean, he's still got to, learn the run gaps. But also, I mean, the Patriots were just anything on the outside. They were just destroying. Cones with 100 yards. Cashmont did have 5 catches, but you could see the effort to try to make it so that Jared May doesn't have to do as much. It can't cost us the game as much. We're taking on the Green Bay Packers here. It's 20-7, and this game is really interesting for a number of reasons, not just for the fact that we can become 3-0, but how about Clinton Portis? He signed with Green Bay. We let him walk, and maybe Clinton Portis looking for a little bit of revenge here as the sack gets in. Loss of 3. Dante Culpepper's the quarterback, and he gets lit up. That's a sack as well. 3rd down and 18. Culpepper, middle. That's going to be in traffic and nowhere to go there as he's going to go down to 4th and 12. They're going for it, and Culpepper, open man on the outside. He's got it, but he did not get the 1st down. He caught it, but he had to come back to the football. And Cashmont wanting to see if he could prove that he was the running back, that we made the right bet. We're betting on Cashmont. We could have kept Clinton Portis for a little bit more of a hefty price, but we spent a 1st-round pick on Calvin Cashmont, and he wants to have his breakout performances. May, open man, wide open, and that is DeFazio Combs. If there is one thing I do like about Jared May, he does give our superstar wide receiver every opportunity to make a play, even if it's not always the best opportunities. As the keeper here, it's going to be the direct snap to Cashmont, not going to get the 1st down. He'll get 5, and we'll try a field goal to go up by 16. Kick on its way. It's wide left. And that is now 3 crucial kicks on the season. We made the one against New England, but not the other 2. And in one play, broken tackle, he made a miss. And it's going to be a 58-yard touchdown in the flip. Just like that. We could have been up 16. Now we're only up by 6 as Cashmont gets a loss of 1. Made a throw. 2nd down and 11. Outside. He's got Hines Ward who couldn't hang on. 3rd down and 11. Jared May got a clean pocket. Open man eventually. It's going to be DeFazio Combs getting that first down as Cashmont is going to try to dance his way through. Maybe he's a little too dance happy, a little too juke happy. Play action as that's going to be DeFazio Combs again, but that one's broken up. 3rd down and 7. May is going to head underneath, and that is just and all kinds of bad throw. That's one of those plays. He wasn't even open. It wasn't even at the sticks, and you put your player in harm's way as Culpepper gets a 9-yard gain to start this drive. Culpepper going to try to run it into a sack, and the defense has played so good, it feels like. And now with the first down grab there. 2nd down and 10. We jump to it, 1:10 to go. Just got to keep them out of the end zone for this win. They got 2 timeouts gone, so any turnover here will win this game as they'll throw one up top. That was over everybody's head. 4th down and 2. Clinton Portis for the game. Portis, he's going to break 1, but not 2. And Clinton Portis couldn't get the first down. And that's going to be how it ends. Clinton Portis, they gave it to him in the key situation, and he couldn't do it. Jared May at 50% completion percentage, but Cashmont with his breakout performance, 24 carries, 124, and no touchdowns, but 5 yards a carry. And you compare that to what Clinton Portis did, 12 for 33. So at least in this little one-on-one battle here, we came out on top, though I can say he at least has the way better offensive line. Combs 158 and a touchdown. Calais Campbell with 3 sacks. And then Thomas Howard and Sean Merriman also had a sack each. So 5 sacks by the defense. What a job from them. 14 points allowed. And another game right here against the New York Jets, going for 4-0, where the defense has them firmly sitting in, the teens, basically, as 13 points, 14 points. They allowed 12 to New England. We're going to see if the defense can continue their little hot streak right now, as they are looking really good, and it's making our offense not have to do as much as that ball's knocked away on 3rd down and long. We get the football in great field position. Draw is not going to go our way there. 3rd down and 14 as May is going to go over the middle. Chris Cooley with it, and Chris Cooley fighting for the first down. And that's a little bit more what I want to do. I want to make an effort to get Cooley the football. There's just too many plays, though, in the run game where they're just shooting the gaps, and I don't know what's happening there. As there's Zimmerman. He's going to break a tackle. Short gain. Defender trips, and he's gone for the touchdown. 38 yards. Little dump down to Zimmerman, the number 4 receiver, and 1 broken tackle, and he got himself sprung free, and the defender tripped over another defender and allowed him to go all the way. So now up 21-13. We got the football back after a 3-and-out, but backed up is now 2nd down and 16. May, he's gonna get sacked, and that is just a very avoidable sack, I feel like, but he just kind of let it happen, as we're gonna go 3-and-out there. A 4th and 19. We'll pump the football away. 4 minutes to go, and good field position, as that ball is gonna be out of bounds for a 1-yard gain. Now drop him to throw once more. He got a blitz in, and the nickel coming in from the edge, and he'll find his man in the middle. It's Shervell Harris gonna set up 3rd down and 1, as they'll go with the throw, and they'll try to take a shot down the field, and that's a weird call. 4th down and 1 as well. They're going for the field goal. It is good, but that's not going to help you out too much. I mean, I guess if you're going to avoid a 2-point conversion, but you're still going to trust your defense to get a stop and get the football back with 3 minutes to go, drive down the field and score a touchdown. May is going to give you an opportunity, though, as he'll just check it down. 4th and 11. And we'll pump the football back to the Jets, so I guess it worked out for them. But they're going to have about 2:10 to play. Punt fielded from the 45, and he's going to get past midfield to the 48-yard line. And they will have great field position as Harris gets blown up in the backfield. He's going to get them a loss of 2. 2-minute warning is hit off his back foot. That throw is intercepted! And it's Mike Vrabel dropping into coverage. And Mike Vrabel comes up with way too many game-clinching interceptions. And he's so big for us for some reason when it comes to his coverage ability. As Cashmont on the edge, broken tackle. Not going to get far, though. 3rd down and 7 as May trying to seal this game with a 1st down completion. And again, he throws it short of the sticks. and throws it right into, a defender who can make a play on the football. Jets get it back. They still have a chance in this one. 3rd down and 10 with a minute and a half to go. Blitz sent in. Hey, sack! How about sending Antonio Cromartie on a blitz on 3rd down? That's bold to send your best corner on a blitz, but it worked out. Cromartie gets the sack. 4th down and 20. Your game is right here on the line, and they need to go 20 yards. They got just one timeout to go. Quick pass is knocked away. The pressure got in, forced him to get rid of it early, and that is going to be game, it looks like. We'll run the football to try to get it. One more 1st down, but instead Cashmont takes it in for the touchdown. A 16-yarder. Could have just slid down and we could have kneeled the football out, but I guess we'll run up the score a little bit. Man, you can see, though, we only threw the ball 16 times. Cashmont gets 3 touchdowns on the ground, and back-to-back nice performances from him. As you can see, we're maybe not trusting Jared May to do too much for us, but we're 4-0, and everything is kind of working out. And DeFazio Combs, that is also really impressive. We won a game where DeFazio Combs didn't even get a single catch. Like, the defense is playing phenomenal right now, and we are now into week 5, where we're taking on the Dallas Cowboys. They've been a thorn in our side so many times, and it's looking like it could be the same scenario as a rainy home game. We're down 21-7, so the defense allowing a little bit more than their typical amount over the last 3 weeks, but even still the offense has got to do a little bit better than 7 points on the board. It's Marion Barber out of the backfield making a man miss. Barber past the 40-yard line, and the Cowboys in scoring range again. Romo to throw it. He's going to try to tuck and run it, and Romo going to scramble, and Tony Romo's going to get himself 8. 2nd down and 2. Romo to the outside, open man, and that's going to be a 1st down in the red zone. On the verge of extending this lead to 3 scores, Romo to the end zone, touchdown. It's not Jason Witten, but Romo to the tight end for a score is going to be the same result regardless, 28-7. And this offense is struggling because you can't expect the defense to just allow less than 20 every single week. The offense has got to do something. That's supposed to be kind of my job too, because I'm the offensive guy. As Cooley for a short gain, 3rd down and 5. May is going to go. Combs is not going to have it be able to be caught in the rain in contested coverage. It's not easy to bring that in. May on 4th down. He's going to have it caught by Santana Moss. And there is a flag, but it's going to be on Dallas. If we had a holding there at the worst time, it would have been brutal, but we'll take the free 15 yards on the face mask, get it inside the red zone. Terrence Newman commits that foul, as with the 19, May, all the time in the world. He's got a man over the middle. Santana Moss again sets us up at the 5. Can we claw our way back into this one? As May is just going to trip over a down defender and get sacked. Come on. As May to the end zone. This time he's got it. Touchdown. And now it's a 14-point game, 4 minutes to play. Obviously trying the onside kick. It's going to be right to a lineman, and the Cowboys got it. And this lineman trying to return it. He's not going to get very far. But 4 minutes to play. Going to try to see if the defense can get a stop here. But Barber to the edge, and Marion Barber, who just obliterates his defense so often. I mean, remember the, 100-yard run he had last year, as it's going to be right up the middle again. 1st down to the 26. Romo to the air this time. No, he's going to run in. Tony Romo scrambling again. He'll slide and get 7 as 3rd down. Barber is not going to get there. It's going to be a field goal try potentially. 4th down and 1. Kick is going to be good. So that kind of ends our hopes and dreams there, as it's 31-14. May with a deep drop. He'll go with a pass that's a little short of his receiver. Behind Ward catches it. 9-yard gain. 3rd down and 1. May, middle, caught. No, broken up. Tried to go to Zimmerman, I believe. Now 4th down and 1. Basically your game here, but it's been game. 4th down and 1 doesn't go our way. I mean, I don't think we would have made the comeback regardless, but Jared May, no picks, 1 touchdown, but 16 of 32 and 4.8 yards an attempt. That's just, it's ugly. No turnovers at least, but while the touchdown and interception ratio looks a little bit better, I still feel like there's a lot of struggling with me trying to open up this offense a little more and do a little bit more variety. I don't know if May's been able to really handle it that much, but 4-1 on the season still, and we'll get into a little bit more when it comes to the draft stories.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network back again with the very latest from the college football world. Lots of big news to talk about, so let's get right to it. The big name I keep hearing about is some joker out of Las Vegas, wide receiver dynamo Joker Davis from UNLV. He's been tearing it up in the early part of the season with 10 touchdowns already. A couple of big-time offensive linemen have really stood out this past month. Frank Blaylock of Pitt and Sean Ottmeyer are really getting noticed in the NFL scouting world. Both guys right now are graded as first-round prospects. The two best defenders emerging are USC juniors Cordell Sosa and Kellen Cantu. Expect both players to declare early and get drafted in the top 10 come next April. That's it for this month. See you all next month with another college football update.
I mean, is a dude named Joker Davis not the coolest thing ever? Look at that. Just compared to Steve Smith, too, they're trying to make me fall in love with this guy. Joker Davis comp to Steve Smith. Yeah, if I needed a wide receiver badly enough, which, I mean, I think we could use a receiver with Hines Ward and Santana Moss being there, but I don't know if we're going to have the ability to do that, especially considering we're looking at quarterbacks right now. Just to keep an eye on. Jermaine Shazer, Chad Gunn look to be the top two. Corey Bobo was also a draft story. He was playing pretty well. There's a number of guys, though, actually. There's, you know, like usually there's like 2, 3 maybe that are relevant. Then the rest are like 70 overall less. But Chad Gunn, Jermaine Shazer look to be the top two guys in this class. They look very different. One's a guy who lacks athleticism and is deemed a system QB. The other dude's an athlete. So, you know, get into some contract negotiations here, Santana Moss. So, you know, like I said, keep in mind with these contract negotiations during the season, one of the years that you assign them to counts this year. So this is technically a 1-year extension to Santana Moss, which I am more than happy to just string him along on 1-year extensions. I want Santana Moss to be on this team for as long as he is able to play. So Marcus Long, the undrafted star player, was already like an 88 overall. This is kind of where you run into an issue. I can't pay that. I can't pay him $5 to $6 million a year, especially when we drafted Edwin Smith, and I want to pay Calais Campbell. I just can't do that. So at 4-1 in the season, we're taking on the New Orleans Saints, and the defense is doing their thing this time around. 16-7 is your score. As we right into the Saints, it feels like every single year, but Breeze, Reggie Bush, once again. I feel like we've had pretty good success against this Saints team, though, as they hand it off. Reggie Bush blown up, and now second down and goal from the 4. Back to Bush again. He goes right. This time he breaks a tackle, and he gets in for the touchdown just barely, as it's now 16-14 with the extra point. And another injury popping up for us is, let me take a look at that one, and it's Santana Moss. We literally just gave him an extension. He's got a leg injury, out for game, x-rays pending, so we're going to have to do it without him. As May, you're going to find DeFazio Combs. I guess you just try to find Combs wherever you can if we can't find Santana Moss either, because I don't know how much I trust Hines Ward with his 76 speed on the outside, but it is going to be a completion there to set up 3rd down and 7, as May going to throw. Cashmont picks up the block, and that's going to be intercepted! He threw right at the safety. Okay. That was basically double coverage. I said find DeFazio Combs, but don't throw it to him in double coverage, as May is just stay calm. You know what? Usually I just stay calm. You know, I'm not the type of coach who just yells at players. You know, stay calm. Let the mistakes pass. Try to hope that they can overcome it. But I don't know what the heck our cornerback's doing out there. I think that might have been Chris Gamble. I think he took a gamble and he missed out on it. Touchdown Saints. And all of a sudden, it's going to be 16-20 after they missed the 2-point conversion. And now we're losing this game as May got to do something here. Chris Cooley got a 1st down grab and a gain of 12. So 2nd down and now 4:30 to play. May is going to flow one up, and that is a dangerous ball, but it's caught. Hines Ward, are you kidding me? How did he bring that ball in? Jared May, you need to stop putting your receivers in harm's way like that, as Cashmont gets 7. Oh my goodness, Hines Ward can't bail you out, and Moss and Combs can't bail you out that much, as Cashmont works his way all the way back to the left side of the field, gets the 1st down carry, and now 2nd down and 8 outside. Cooley incomplete. Defender jumped in front of it, almost got another pick. 3rd down and 8. May, he's going to swing it outside. That's going to be caught. Cashmont breaks a tackle, and he gets the 1st down, and that's huge, as it's going to keep the drive going. Wide open man, and that's Combs inside the 10, down to the 7, gain of 19, 2:14 to go, as that's going to be May with a lot of time. Open man on the outside, touchdown, Hines Ward, and that's going to be a Washington lead with just 2 to play, and it's up to the defense to stop this offense. Reggie Bush is going to get 6. Breeze has been on fire in this fourth quarter, as that's going to be a completion for a first down. We'll catch a little bit of a break here. How about a false start to back them up 5 yards with 1:53 to go. New Orleans needs to go 59 yards if they want to take the lead. Definitely not that long if they want to send this to overtime, as Breeze to throw it. Middle, caught, and that's going to be a great grab to hang on there. 3rd down and 2, and Breeze gets sacked, throwing him to the ground. 4th down and 5. Defense, can you put this one away? As Breeze, that's going to be caught for the first down. And they're going to keep it going. Hand off Reggie Bush. They don't need to have urgency. They got the field goal potentially in their back pocket with a couple more yards. They're down to 11. That's knocked away. And with 4th and 11, they're going to go for the field goal from 54 yards out. But the Saints, are you kidding me? That's going to be a false start. And you can't kick it from that far away now. Teams are already hesitant to kick it from the 50s. But from 59, I don't think they're going to do that. A minute to play, and they just shot themselves in the foot with a false start that could potentially end this game if they can't get a 4th and 16. Breeze, he's going to send Bush out in motion, empty the backfield. Game on the line here for Breeze. He'll throw it. He's going to have an open man. LaRon Landry hits him down, and that's going to be a stop. He baited him into that one, and Landry trusted himself to make the tackle, and he did, just a yard or 2 shy, and we come out with the victory. May plays a pretty nice game there, I will say. That I got to give it to him there. 70%, 10 yards an attempt, 2 touchdowns, just a pick. The 1 pick was a little brutal, but hey, with no Santana Moss, he got injured, just 1 grab on the game. Hines Ward came up big, and DeFazio Combs, as usual, did his thing. Thomas Howard got 2 sacks and the pick from Heidenhofer. Santana Moss's injury, though, we'll see. It was a leg injury. It will be a strained hamstring. He'll be out for about a month. But we're 5-1 on the season. We're looking good overall as a team. And we have some contract negotiations to get back to. I promised that with signing Calais Campbell, I wasn't going to like cheese the game and, not pay him. I'm going to give him the big contract extension, and I'll happily pay Calais Campbell. And this is also why you can't really pay Marcus Long, because I'm not going to be paying both of them. So a 4-year contract. And I'm looking at the bonuses. I'm thinking, man, Calais Campbell's played pretty well already this season. Let's see if we can get him here. I'm fine paying him a little bit more of a bonus. $7 million a bonus, a 4-year, $27 million contract. Calais Campbell. How about LaRon Landry as well? He's been a mainstay on this team, and it's gonna command big money. But he just made the game-winning play for us, and that's a good time to ask for a contract extension. But Landry, he's one of the players that I think is a core member of this team. He deserves to stay, and even though it's 6-year deal for over $40 million, I think that that's valid for us. He has earned it. He has been the consistent. He is one of the rare players that are as young that I inherited that I want to keep. A 6-year, $44 million contract, a lot of incentives, and we'll get into our next game. Here we are down 20-10 on the Rams. We're 5-1 in the season, looking great right now, but Jared May to kick off the fourth quarter has got to do something to get us back into this one. Good thing for him, though, he's set up at the 15-yard line as May dropping, throwing, and that's an open man. That's going to be caught for a touchdown, and a great way to start off the fourth quarter as we crawl back into it 20-17, and we look to the defense to stop Mark Bulger and Steven Jackson, who is so difficult to bring down as we get him down finally, but it'll be 4th down and 3. We'll get the football back, and in an opportunity to tie this game, maybe even take the lead, it's going to be Antonio Cromartie on the return. Santana Moss is out, but Cromartie fills in just nice nicely on the return. Will be set up at the 35-yard line as Cashmont finds a lane, and Cashmont is going to get to the line. They'll say second down in inches, but a 10-yard gain. May will throw, middle, caught, and Chris Cooley's got it for the first down and a gain of 11. 6 minutes to play. May down the seam, caught, and that's Zimmerman. He's going to get some more playing time as well. Zimmerman, Butler, both the backup receivers getting some more play time as the ball's on the ground. Cashmont put it on the ground, and it's Rams football. So now Jackson, he fumbles the football, and it's scooped up by a lineman who he fumbles the football, and we got it back. 3 fumbles in 2 plays. That was ridiculous, but I guess all's fine as May is going to get sacked, and this is ridiculous right now. Loss of 13. 5 minutes to go. May play action off his back foot. That was just way off. And now third down and 23 as May is going to just flat out miss again. Now fourth down and 23. Long field goal try. Boot on the way. It's barely good. Tie the game up. That's an impressive kick. And, you know, something we've needed to see. Field goals have been a little rough so far for this season. I would have thought Jay Feely would have at least helped us solve our kicking problems a little bit, but you know, big kick to hit there, though, as we'll tie it up with 4 minutes to play. Bolger on third down and 6. He'll have a first down grab, and that's going to be past the 40-yard line to the 41. And now counter. Jackson lit up, and he's stopped in the backfield. Third down and 13. Bolger with the drop under center. He'll throw right down the middle. That's going to be broken up, and it took a lot of defenders to make sure he couldn't grab that one, but we still got the football back. As now 3 minutes to play. Second down and 12. May with the short drop. He'll just float that one out there. I don't know what the point of that one was, but it'll be no gain. Third down and 12. May. He's going to throw it up. Top double coverage. Knocked away. And the Rams will get it back. 2:20 to play, and Steven Jackson is going to break a tackle, at least to slow him down, and we do. He'll get 4. Third down and 6. Bolger on the blitz. He'll find a man, but it's short of the line, and they'll punt it, so we get it back now as May. Short again. That was another poor throw. May in the face of pressure gets it to Chris Cooley. There you go. Set it up. Third down and manageable with 1:30 to play. Third down and 2. May to the air. Off his back foot. Caught. And that's going to be a broken tackle. Make it 2. And I think that's Hines Ward. He's not very fast, but he got us down there as May with the play action. And that's going to be a wide open man. He's running inside the 10. Down to the 11-yard line after a loss, and now we're just going to try to run this football, run out the clock, and we're doing just that. 40 seconds to play, third down, as May, he didn't hand the football off. May, I don't know what you're doing there. That was a little risky. Just slide down next time. But for a game-winning field goal from just 23 yards out to go to 6-1, kick is no good. He missed it, and we're going to overtime. Are you serious? He missed a 23-yard kick, and we're going to get the football first. That's a curious decision. The Rams decided to kick. Do they know it's sudden death? I don't know about that one, Rams, but they're going to trust their defense, I suppose. I don't know what the benefits are in sudden death and not getting the football first, but that's going to be a big grab. Chris Cooley, he's getting some line up in the slot as May is going to get sacked. Now it's second down and 17. Make it third and 17 after an incomplete pass as May underneath. That's going to be caught. Cooley will not get to the first down marker, and we got to punt it. So I guess the Rams, it worked out. You trusted your defense in it. I guess you got the football back. I still don't know the point of it, but still, 6 minutes to go. Jackson, he gets stopped. Backfield loss of 2. Third down and 9. I guess back them up a little bit more. That's going to be a false start. So now third down and 14 from the 12. As with under 6 to go, Bolger will throw it. He's got time. He's going to have a man on the outside, but he had to come back to the football. He's not going to get the first. Fourth down and 3. They'll punt it. Cromartie back to return this one, and it looks like we're going to be set up in good field position. I think we can get some blocks set up here. We do. Cromartie past midfield. Antonio Cromartie to the 42. 1 first down. We're in field goal range here. I don't even know if we need the first down, but we can't get sacked again. Jared May is just taking sacks left and right. Second and 16. May has got a completion. That's huge. Gets us right on the fringe of field goal range. We hit from here earlier, so I think we can do it again. As May, just don't throw anything dangerous. He did there, but doesn't get intercepted. We hit from 54. Can we hit from 55 for the win? Kick is way off. What the heck was that? short, wide right, everything. He hit from 54. How could he not even come close from 55? As now another missed kick is going to set us back. I mean, we should have won this game already. Jackson, stop. They go 3-0. We get the football again. May gets sacked again. What is this? This is such a weird game. Are we going to tie? As May just throws a hospital ball again. May is the king of hospital ball passes. As 3rd down and 12, he gets sacked again. And the Rams get good field position. We're almost at the 2-minute warning of overtime. My goodness, what the heck is going on? The defense is fighting for their lives in this one. That's knocked away. We get it back again. How about another try? And Cashmont can't go anywhere. 2nd and 11, May to throw it. And he gets sacked again. 3rd and 19. May is going to just throw a check down. I don't know if Cashmont can do anything with that. And that's going to be, I guess, a punt. I guess we're playing for a tie. I guess we're playing for a tie, guys. Okay, punt deep. It's going to be fielded at about the 40-yard line. He's going to make a man miss. He gets a block. He gets past midfield and to the 43-yard line. As we go and shoot the gap, Bulger not even going to get the handoff to Jackson, and this time he does. It loses a yard. 3rd down and 14. We're down to under a minute to go in overtime. We could be on the horizon for a tie here. Bulger, middle, caught for the 1st down, and it's going to be right at field goal range. And Jackson up the middle as he's going to stiff arm his way through. 1st down again, and they're just going to send out the field goal unit now as a kick for the win. It is good. Rams win it. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. I mean, almost a tie, I guess, would have been a good outcome with how everything went down. May had a solid game, but he got sacked 8 times. That's not good. He didn't throw a pick at least. Cashmont couldn't really run the football. Combs and Ward had big days, but I mean, we missed a chip shot 23-yard field goal. We do have some stuff to do before the deadline. After paying LaRon Landry and Calais Campbell, I can't justify paying Marcus Long. I said it was going to be rough since he was an undrafted player, but we got to trade him because we're not going to get anything for him. And we do have a pretty deep defensive line. Edwin Smith, Victor Abiamiri, we have Tommy Harris, Calais Campbell. We have some good members on the defensive line. We don't need Marcus Long that badly. We're going to deal him to the Bills for a 3rd-round pick. On top of that, Jay Feely, get out of here. Like, this is ridiculous. He missed the kick in week 1 against Philly. He missed another kick. I forget he missed another one. He hit the chip shot New England kick, but that's a chip shot. You're expected to hit that. And then, you know, the missed kicks against St. Louis is ridiculous. The Giants are 7-0. We're 5-2. So, I mean, even at 5-2, playing this New York Giants team, we're down by 14. Jared May, I mean, he's having an absolute stinker right now. 8 of 25 for a touchdown, 2 picks. So Jared May is, he's playing awful. Cashmont's playing a pretty solid game. He's been the only form of offense we have had this one. And another incomplete pass there. Down by 14. We're going to direct snap it to Cashmont, and he's not going to get anywhere with that one. We'll lose 4. It's going to be 4th down and 6, and we're going for it. Down by 14. We need to do something here. And he's going to throw it up top in double coverage. 2 receivers, 2 defenders there. I don't know about that one. And Eli has the football back, and the Giants could very well be on their way to 8-0 if we can do something here. As they'll hand it off. Brandon Jacobs, I mean, as if tackling, you know, Steven Jackson last week wasn't difficult enough. And then you get back-to-back and it gets Brandon Jacobs. Eli gets sacked, though. We got like 4 defenders coming in there. Now 2nd down and 14. Blitz sent in as that ball is going to be caught, but just a 10-yard gain. Not quite the 1st down marker. 3rd down and 4. We get the stop there. Big tackle getting Brandon Jacobs down. Field goal on its way. It is good. Giants up by 17, so 3-score deficit for us as we are threatening to lose 2 in a row here as Zimmerman with the grab. That's going to be a gain of 10 and a 1st down as May play action off his back foot, caught by Hines Ward for the 1st down. Gain of 13. 1st and 10 again. May, open man. There you go. The receivers are getting open, creating separation. And Zimmerman breaking a tackle. And there goes Zimmerman. He's going to go all the way May, touchdown, catch and run, and we're going for 2. This to make it a 9-point game. It's good. We go for 2 there because if the Giants go and score another touchdown, it remains a 2-score game. 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions, and the onside kick. We recovered it. We recovered an onside kick with 4.5 to go. This never happens. May got it for a big gain past midfield. Could we be on the run for a comeback as May over the middle got a completion, and May starting to string together some big plays as he's gonna get sacked this time around as Josh Zimmerman, he's out for the game. We're down 2 receivers now, and it's going to be 3rd down and 7. First down completion there. I don't even know who the heck just made that grab for the first down. 2nd down and 11. That's going to be a swing out to Cashmon. He's going to get a short gain of 5, and now set up 3rd down and 6 as May, one-on-one shot, and that's going to be covered to Fuzzy. Oko's down to the 5, handoff Cashmon. He's going to get it to the 4, 2:18 to play. May outside, it's caught for the touchdown. That's Greg Butler. Down by 17 not too long ago. It's a 2-point game, and the defense with a 2-yard loss. Jacobs with another carry, 2-minute warning as hit, and another tackle for loss. 3rd down and 14. Eli hands it off. Jacobs can't get anywhere. We're going to get the football back and a chance to pull off a comeback as May, middle, it's caught for a 1st down and maybe just 10 to 15 yards away from field goal range. He's got a completion, and that's going to be right at the marker, and they call it 2nd and 1. May, can he get it? 1st down. It's caught. No, it's broken up. 3rd down and 1. We're going to hand it off. Go for the run, and that's not going to get there. It's 4th down and 1. We can go for a 53-yard field goal for the win with 20 seconds to play. Kick is no good. Why every time we missed it? It was a tough kick, I know, but still, you gotta hit it. May was interesting, to say the least, in that one. And more field goal woes give us another loss on the board. Zimmerman, his injury, he'll be out 3 weeks with a cracked leg bone.
The big story this month is the emergence of Virginia's Jermaine Shazer as a major player in this year's college football season. Shazer has been unstoppable in the ACC, accounting for over 90% of Virginia's entire offense. He has been really fun to watch so far. The Maryland Terrapins have finally slipped up as Corey Bobo had a 5-interception game against Florida State, losing their first game of the season and falling to number 9 in the polls. I'd like to mention a few other guys who have really stood out this month. Jehu Bacon from Tennessee has really taken his game to another level after games of 100 yards receiving against Georgia and 208 more against Auburn. Also watch out for tight end Jeff Gabbert from Oklahoma. He reminds me a lot of Todd Heap with his game-breaking receiving ability.
So I guess taking a peek at some of those players. Jehu Bacon, interesting name. Hines Ward is the comp. Chad Gunn still up here, but the big player, Jermaine Shazer, elite arm strength, speed, big playability. I mean, Vince Young comp, that sounds awesome. We'll keep an eye on it as we go into the next one, and it's not looking good here either. How about 17-7 down against the Bills at home? We are at the 42-yard line, but May needs to get something going, a drop. 2nd down and 10. May, middle, caught, and that's going to be Greg Butler. Butler's having to step up here because we're down 2 receivers. May off his back foot. Chris Cooley with the catch, and that's going to be a short gain of 4 yards, set up 3rd down and 7. May rolling out, and he's going to just flow one up, and just everybody was there. I don't know what the heck that was. Field goal. It does go through the uprights. My goodness, we needed to just hit a kick just to have some sort of confidence in ourselves, as it's 17-10. As Marshawn Lynch, hey, in this universe, Marshawn Lynch has just stayed a Buffalo Bill so far. So, I mean, also, look at the run we are on. Steven Jackson, Brandon Jacobs, Marshawn Lynch. Can we get a layup here for tackling a running back as they're going to run? Speaking of running, that's going to be a broken tackle and a 1st down on the ground. As they're scrambling around, that's going to be a catch outside, gain of 4 as they'll drop the throw once more. Middle, caught, as the tight ends got it. That's going to be a first down. They're moving this football super well right now, and a chance to go right back up by 2 scores. They'll try to scramble. He's not going to get there. He's stripped in, and it's going to be a fumble recovery. Huge play by the defense, stripping it and recovering it. May, do you got something in you? Throwing it up top, and that's going to be incomplete, but they're going to call a penalty, and I think we definitely got away with one there. I don't think that really was pass interference, but Dante Whitner with the call. We'll take it. He will certainly take it, as that ball is going to be a handoff for a gain of 6. 3rd down and 4. Right back to Cashmont. Makes a move. Cashmont can't get the first down with 4 minutes to play. We're gonna settle for the field goal. We're just gonna kick it again. Field goal through the uprights, and it will be 17-13. But we're trusting the defense to get us the football back. Can't really claw back with just field goals, but another fumble here on the first play, and we got it. Mike Vrabel forced it, and the defense, how much do they have to do to carry this team right now? And what a this flip, because I mean, when we were coming into this team, I mean, this defense was horrendous, but Jared May gets sacked. Please don't settle for another field goal, guys. May throwing. He's got an open Chris Cooley. He's got the first down inside the red zone. 18-yard line, play action. May, he's going to go one-on-one ball. That's caught! How did he bring that one in? Delfazio Combs. We're set up at the 3-yard line. Direct snap. Cashmont. He's got a walk-in lane. Touchdown. We got the lead. 20-17. And it's all thanks to the defense and a crazy Delfazio Combs grab. And the defense forced a 3rd straight turnover. 3rd down and 7. That's going to be an open man. And he's going to get the first down so the Bills can go down the field, try to get a field goal, send this thing to overtime as they'll throw a contested pass. This one is caught, gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. A lot of protection there as that ball, first down grab. He's trying to fight his way through. They're in field goal range potentially as he's got time in the pocket again. Another quick throw underneath. But, I mean, they're firmly in field goal range now. 3rd down and 4. He's going to get sacked. So we'll back him up a little bit, but it's still from the 29-yard line. Field goal is going to be through the uprights. It's a tie game with 46 seconds to go. I really don't want to go to overtime again and try to figure out how to make another field goal as a kick return. See if we can get us in good field position. Broken tackle. There you go. Past the 30. Makes a move. Past the 35. So a solid return to the 37. May, can you get us like 30 yards to get into field goal range? He's got an open man. That's going to be Butler. Past midfield. Butler goes with a broken tackle. And to the 49-yard line. 27 seconds to go. We got one timeout. How about Delfazio Combs? He's got it. Combs! He's running all the way down to the 10-yard line. Delfazio Combs might have just made the play to win it. Can we hit a chip shot field goal? We missed from 23 against the Rams, but from 22, the kick is good. We win the game, and that was just so much more difficult than it needs to be sometimes. But Delfazio Combs, I thank you for everything you do for this team. Jared May, under 50% completion percentage to defense, 2 huge fumbles to get us the football back and able to make this comeback. 16 points in the 4th quarter gets us the job done, and it is now another game here as we needed that one badly to get back on track. We could not afford another loss consecutively, but it's not looking too good right now. 4th down by 10 against the Niners. That ball to Delfazio Combs, just keep it going. Clutch play after clutch play for Combs to the 24-yard line, a gain of 24 as May got the crosser, open man, Delfazio Combs inside the 10, down to the 8, 2nd down and goal from the 7 after a 1-yard gain. Chris Cooley to the goal line, touchdown. We have pulled ourselves back down by 3 again, and this game is not over. We are clawing back into it, and can the defense come up with another big set of turnovers potentially like they did last week? The 1st down and 10, a sack, and he goes down. This is Jason Campbell, our former quarterback. We drafted him in the 1st round. We traded him. The first move we basically made in this franchise was to trade Jason Campbell away because I didn't want to deal with Jason Campbell. And, I mean, we got the stop there. It's worked out for the Niners, but for Jason Campbell, he's going to have to sit here and watch his Calvin Cashmont for a 24-yard run and a big play there. 2nd down and 5, close to midfield. May with the sack. It's a fumble, and he put the ball on the ground, and it's going to be Niner football from the 42. That's brutal. As there goes Frank Gore up the middle for a gain of 3, 3rd down and 4. Go back to Frank Gore, one-on-one. Gore not going to be able to break the tackle. Good job there. Brandon Merriweather with the tackle and a field goal try from the Niners. That one way wide right, and it is still going to remain a 3-point game in this one. As May, can he get into field goal range to force overtime? That's going to be a grab. Caught at midfield. As it's going to be May rolling out now. He'll fly one down the field. It's caught for DeFazio Combs. Gain of 30. How does Combs keep making these plays? I don't know why you're running backwards, Cashmon. I don't know what the heck that play was. Lost at 2. We're at the 3rd and 12 with under a minute to play. May, middle, caught, and that's close. 4th down and inches. Do we go for it? I think yes. We play to win. We don't play for overtime. 35 seconds and clock running from the 11-yard line. 4th and inches. As it's going to be a sneak right up the middle. He's got the first down, but he put the ball on the ground. And we keep it. My goodness, why do you do that? As they throw it outside now, that's going to be no gain to the fullback. 20 seconds to go from the 8. May has got it over the middle. It's caught down to the 1. 3rd down and goal. May, he's sacked. And we are going for the win again. We got the first one, even though we fumbled, but from the 3-yard line, 14 seconds to play. These are the types of plays that May needs to prove he's the guy for us. We put the ball in his hands with a chance to win the game. Can he do it? We don't want to play for overtime. On top of that, I don't really trust the field goal situation. We're drawing up a play to get it to DeFazio Combs. If it's not to Combs, we'd like it to go to the left side. We'll have open receivers. We should at least. 3-yard line, 14 seconds to play. This is your game here for the win. It's going to be May dropping to throw it right over the middle. Touchdown! He got it for the score with 7 seconds to play. The Niners don't know what hit him because we went for the win, and it's going to work out unless they get a Hail Mary here with 2 seconds to go from the 48. It's a sack, and we win the game. May did it in the big moment, and he had a good day. Probably his best game, maybe even, because he completed 80% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The offensive changeup has helped us a lot. Santana Moss was back for this game. He caught the game-winning touchdown. 4 sacks by the defense. We're just going to hope that little, stretch of losses that we had in a short span was just a little hiccup on this season, as we are here in a game against Miami. It's a primetime game. 14-10 is your score, and May just flat out misses DeFazio Combs. 2nd down and 10. May, middle, caught. That's going to be Hines Ward breaking a tackle. Hines Ward, he has no speed, so he can't get all the way, but he gets to the 13-yard line. And Hines Ward still slippery, though, as it's going to be Cashmont getting stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11. May will just check it down outside. That's just going to go nowhere, and it'll be a field goal try. Kick on the way. It's no good. That was like a 31-yard kick. Come on. We need to draft a kicker. We need to do something. I mean, Jay Feely was like at 86, and he was so bad we just cut him, and now we got this rookie kicker who's undrafted, and my goodness, man, I don't know what to do. We get a 3 and out though, because this defense has just been awesome. And now 1st and 10, got Chris Cooley, and that's going to be a gain of 9. As with 5 minutes to play, it's going to be Cashmont with the handoff, broken tackle. He's going to try to run laterally. He still gets the 1st down. Not a big game though, as now 2nd down and 10 outside. That's going to be an open fullback, and he's not going to get far. 3rd down and 10. As May has got an open man over the middle, but he just missed it. He had Chris Cooley wide open in the middle, and instead he threw a double coverage pass. So, I mean, that's part of the frustration, but Miami, 2 broken tackles. Their tight end got an opportunity, and he gets into the 21-yard line as they'll drop to throw. That ball tipped, intercepted, and right off the hands of one and into another as the defense gets a turnover. Now play action over the middle. DeFazio Combs, but there's a flag down. And this one, is it going to be coming back? Yes, it is holding. So back us up to the 7-yard line. 3 minutes to play as May in his own end zone takes another shot for DeFazio Combs, and he's got this one again. As now we go to the ground game, it's going to be Cashmont breaking a tackle, and Cashmont to an 8-yard gain on the 43-yard line, 2nd down and 2. Slant route caught, defender miss, Santana Moss is going to outrun the defense, and he will touchdown, 57 yards. Santana Moss has a 2-score lead for Washington. And a big-time, potentially game sealer there, as the defense is going to allow Miami to get one big pass play at the 35-yard line. But as long as you don't allow an onside kick, it feels like we should be able to come out here with a victory. But how about an interception to end this game, as it's going to be 1 first down for Cashmont to officially end it. Miami going to be out of timeouts. Can't stop the clock anymore. And we hang on for a victory where the defense once again has a great performance. May, I mean, on paper, it looks like a decent performance. It wasn't really, though. 11 of 23, and, you know, 2 of his big plays were just massive catch and runs where, you know, the offensive player did all the work. Santana Moss, you know, had the big 57-yard catch and run, and I feel like there's just too many games, though, where Jared May completes so little amount of his passes percentage-wise that could be a little worrying, but victory nonetheless, and we get into where things kind of stand right now. The Giants were 8-0. They've lost 3 in a row. We're 8-3. We're tied. Giants beat us, but still tied for the division lead. And in this game, things are looking a little rough as we hop into the Seattle game, and this is what I mean. I mean, like 4 completions on 19 attempts for May. He's got 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, you look at that, 2 touchdowns, but he's got 4 completions because Hines Ward has a 38-yarder and a 56-yarder for another player. And it's like, man, 4 of 19 just ain't going to cut it. You can't do that. As we're down 23-14. Seattle's got the football at the 24-yard line. We got 1 sack, but they complete the pass to get all those yards back and more to get 3rd down and 1 where Hasselback will hand it off. Juke move to the outside. He's not going to be fast enough to get by, though, and it'll be a 4-yard loss where they'll try a field goal, which will be good. Still a 2-score game, but Jared May needs to figure out how to complete some passes. 4 of 19, like I said, it's just not going to happen. We're not going anywhere with that. Kickoff back deep. Can we maybe set ourselves up in good field position? Moss is going to cut it back to the middle, and this could be a big swing here. It is going to be on Seattle. Thank goodness, because you know, we're going to get the ball past the 40 rather than having to start at our own 10-yard line. So like a big 30-yard swing there, as May is going to have a completed pass. That's Cashmont coming out of the backfield. A big gain there to the 39-yard line. So May dropping the throw on 2nd and 9. He'll go to Combs. Got the completion inside the 30-yard line to the 28. May just trying to string together a couple more completions. That's going to be swatted at the line, though. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Go back to the air. Having to throw a lot on this drive, and it's going to be DeFazio Combs. Juke move, it Combs to the 10. And at the 9 on 2nd down, play action. May, end zone, caught! And they say out of bounds. He couldn't get the 2nd foot in. 3rd down and goal. May, clean pocket, middle, intercepted! He threw it right into a lurking defender. And May, not only is this a pick, but I don't know if we're going to be able to catch him. He's right on his tail, but he can't get him. He's not able to bring him down. He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Seattle. And a pick 6 by Jared May. And that is going to flip things around from what could have been a 1-score game all the way to a 3-score game with 4 minutes to go. May to the air underneath. It's going to be incomplete. 4th down and 8. Needing a conversion here. May with the rollout. On the run. Right at a defender. Incomplete. And Seattle is going to take the football back. They ran out the clock, kicked the field goal for the win. But you look at the stats here, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Doesn't look like the worst game of all time. But it's the situational stuff, and it's going 13 for 40 with 5.7 yards an attempt. That's just bad. Like, you just can't do that. That is a bad game. Cashmont, we only ran the football 10 times because we were losing so much. Combs with another 100-yard gain, so his stats are untouched, but we got to figure out a little bit more consistency here.
Hello everyone, Adam Schefter from NFL Network here with a college football update. Chad Gunn is setting records left and right this college football season at Texas Tech. Expect him to get drafted high for sure, but also expect to hear the Texas Tech gimmick offense argument as well from some draft pundits. Robert Metcalf, Gunn's teammate at Texas Tech, has been one of the biggest playmakers on this offense all year long. Metcalf set a running back record for receptions when he notched his 83rd catch of the year. There are still 2 games left for the Red Raiders, so watch him go past 90 without a problem. Heading into the big conference championships, USC has rebounded to the number 2 spot and a 10-1 record after dominating teams on defense all season long. Look for them to have several defenders declare early and leave for the riches of the NFL draft.
Okay, that's really interesting. So Chad Gunn, you know, we've been keeping an eye on him, but Robert Metcalf, it's kind of funny because I think they messed up the draft story a little bit. He was in the last draft class. He was from Texas Tech. You got the Brian Westbrook. We were thinking of drafting him. So it's kind of funny that they kind of messed up the draft story there. But, you know, Robert Metcalf's in the NFL. We're taking on the Eagles here. They fumbled the football, but they jump back on it. So, you know, another quarterback to keep an eye on. There's been 3 QB stories now. Bobo, Shazer, and Gunn. Maybe we're still... I'm not fully convinced on May yet, but we have some injury news here. Cashmont is going to be hurt, so we're going to have to put in Whitfield, who has been a backup running back for the last 2 seasons, and the first carry! Scoop and score, Philly, come on! I literally just said, like, oh man, that stinks. We were without our running back. Let's give the next guy a try. And he just puts the ball on the ground immediately. We're down 22-16 after the 2-point conversion. And now it's up to Jared May to come up clutch here and drive us down the field. There's still 6 minutes to play. First down to Chris Cooley as May throws left. That's going to be caught. And Hines Ward has a gain of 9 to the 43-yard line. 5.5 to go. May, deep pass right at the lurking safety, intercepted. And the Eagles out and taking it the other way. Philly, they're down the sidelines. And he will go touchdown. And this ball game was blown wide open, but not going to stand. It's gonna be a clipping. So the interception stands, the return doesn't, because it was after the pick. But still, don't forget, Jared May threw a pick 6 there to probably lose us the game if that play stood. The defense, though, is going to get us a stop here. If they can bring him down, 3rd down and 13, he's gonna get stopped. We'll get the football back with 4 minutes to go. May, you got another try at it. He'll go outside to Santana Moss. Broken tackle, and Santana Moss past the 50-yard line. 44-yard line now after the 3-yard gain on first down. May off his back foot. Caught and Combs. Going to be a 9-yard gain on the first down. 3 minutes to play. Hand off to Whitfield. He's going to try to juke to the outside, but that is just a poor run. Loss of 3. May, 2nd down and 13, wide open man, Hines Ward, got the first down, and to the 24 we go, marching down the field, play action, it fooled him, May on the run, he just missed it, too far out in front, 2nd down and 10, May up the save, Chris Cooley, inside the 10, with 2 to play, and a chance to take the lead here, Whitfield can't get it, we're gonna have to throw it, it's gonna be up to May, he's gonna get sacked! It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 16. May, he's going to flow a middle. Missed him. Just flat missed him, and it was deflected. 4th and goal. Your game potentially on the line here. Jared May has got it knocked away at the line. And the Eagles take it back. We still have our timeouts, but I don't know if we could stop them here. That's going to be a short one, gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 to the edge. That's going to be a fumble, but Cobb jumps on it, 3rd and 14. And the handoff is going to not get the first down. We'll get the football back in another try at it. May, first play of the drive. That's intercepted! Jared May threw the game away. And he goes 17 of 33. 3 picks, and if it wasn't for a clipping penalty, the game would have been over even sooner with a pick 6. Cashmont, brutal, got injured on his first carry, and Whitfield goes 22 carries for 15 yards and a fumble. I mean, that's about as bad of a running back performance as you'll see, so that's another loss on the board. We're down 2 in a row, and we are now sitting at 8-5 on the season, third in the division. Now, the Cowboys are below 500. It's looking like we should still be able to find our way into the playoffs. So we still have a chance at the 1 seed, but I mean, it's not looking like how it did 2 weeks ago where we were doing great. And now against the Giants, they're dominating us. It's 35-10, and New York is going to run us off the field, it looks like. And that's going to be 3 losses in a row. And I mean, got a touchdown there, but I don't think we're coming back in this one. 35-17 is the score. Giants recover the onside kick. Not even a point in showing this because it's a blowout right now, and the Giants are still moving the football down the field in the red zone, and they are going to put it in the end zone for another score. So 41-17 is going to be your final. May with 1 more interception for good measure to seal the game. And this is getting ugly right now. May, only 166 yards, 14 of 31 and a pick. I mean, this is just looking awful right now. And Jared May has strung together like 4 games, like ever since that 49ers game. It seems like any, powers that he had to do anything have just been zapped away because he put up 180% completion percentage game, and for every game following, he's been struggling to even hit 50%. He's been throwing picks. He's been making bad plays. He's been doing everything wrong. And now playoffs, it's not even a certainty. The Giants, they've cleared us. We can't catch them. The Eagles, we're down 2 games with 2 left. We're taking on the Cowboys. We can, I guess, officially knock the Cowboys out with a loss here. But we're fighting right now for what looks to be the 6th seed after being 8-3 at one point. We were, 5-1? Were we 6-1 at one point? I mean, we were doing so good to start the season. And the defense can only take us so far. But when our quarterback is stinking up the joint left and right, I don't know what we can do, as that pass is going to be out of bounds. I mean, look at that. He threw a check down, led our receiver out of bounds, a loss of 5. What are you supposed to do there? He gets us the yards back. Santana Moss for a first down, gain of about 20. Cashman on the draw. He's going to find a lane to get 4 yards. 3rd down and 6. May outside. Combs couldn't keep the foot in, and they're going to have to punt the football away. We're still up by 4, though, and just hang on defense. But 1 missed tackle! Come on! He's going to get a big play, and a missed tackle springs him for a big one, as now this pass is going to be tipped and intercepted! Laron Landry is going to take it back the other way! Pick 6 by the defense. Thank you for the bailout. And we got a lead of 2 scores, 11 points on the board, and Romo is going to get sacked. Defense, though, huge play there. 3rd down and 14 as Romo to the outside. That's going to be caught. They call it inbounds, but they'll punt it away. Probably should have went for it there, as May. That ball was a little dangerous. Got it over the top, though. Combs for a short gain. 3rd down and 5 as May. Just don't make any big mistakes. He'll float one, and right as I said that should have been a pick, and it was dropped. And I think there's a flag down as well. And this one's on Dallas. It's going to be a face mask. They might have, I don't know whose face mask they grabbed, but they grabbed somebody's. It's going to be 4 minutes to play. That's just going to be a blow up in the backfield. Too many of that been happening this year. At 2nd down and 15. May outside. Caught. And Moss breaks a tackle. Santana Moss is going to get past the 40-yard line. And we're going to keep this clock running in a kind of must-win game here, as I think we're going to be able to seal this up with a couple of more good runs, as Cashmont's not going to get far, just a yard. 3rd down and 7. May for the first down. He's going to find a wide-open Chris Cooley. 1st down, and this game with 1 more first is officially over, as we'll get back to the line with a handoff. It's going to be Cashman. Finds a little hole, finds a little room, gets 4 yards. Time running down. Handoff again. Cashman going to get closer. How about another 4 to 5 yards? 3rd down and 1. And for the game, that's going to be a first down and a massive victory there. May doesn't throw a pick, doesn't throw a touchdown. Guess he didn't mess things up too badly. It was the best game he's played in a couple of weeks, so guess we'll take it. Cashmont was the real star of the show here. 88 yards, 2 touchdowns on 6 yards a carry, and the defense did a big favor to us getting a pick 6. I mean, they held Romo to 0 touchdowns, got the pick 6, so great there. And Marion Barber caught us a little bit of a break, but Barber got hurt on his second carry, so we didn't have to deal with him. He's been giving us nightmares every year we play him. So 9-6 on the season. And here's the scenario going into the final week of the season. It's us and the Saints is the only two teams in the race for the final seed. Saints can't win the division. We can't win the division. It's up to us two. The Eagles already got the other wild card slot. If we win, we're in. If we lose and the Saints win, we're out. If the Saints lose, even if we lose, we are in. We're going to be missing Sean Merriman for this game, but we control our own destiny. Win and in. And after how we started the season, the fact that we could miss the playoffs here is just ridiculous. Start the fourth quarter with a 4th down and 1. And they have a misdirection on the handoff and miscommunication. He gets the first down, though, still, as they hand it off once more. It's a 14-7 game. And you could just see how the score has just gone down and down throughout the course of this season. A fumble here. Defense scoops it up. But I was talking about how, I mean, this was a team that was top 5 last year in scoring offense. Top 5, I think, even the year before that. Like, we were a top scoring offense, and we can't put points up on the board. Jerry May can't even figure out how to hand the football off to his running back. He gets tackled for a 4-yard loss. May over the middle, flat out missed him. 3rd down and 14. As May, middle, that's going to be caught, and the fullback is going to break the tackle, and good, he gets the first down. So look at the fullback putting in the effort there. Wide open man over the middle, that's Zimmerman. He's going to break a tackle, make it 2, and there goes Zimmerman! And he almost got free if he got by one more. 31-yard line with under 6 to go. It's going to be a handoff to Cashmont, who gets us 5. The 27-yard line. Back to Cashmont we go. Open lane, he's going to fight for the first, he gets it. All right, on the 21-yard line. We can go up by 2 scores here if you don't make any mistakes. And he'll find a wide open Hines Ward, who gets upended, and he'll get 7 to the 14-yard line. Cashmont is going to get 2, 3rd down and 1. How about go to the fullback? He got us a first down before, but not this time. And we have a field goal try. Just knock home this kick, please. And the kick is good. I always have to hold my breath a little bit. It's a little scary with these field goals, but 17-7. And man, this defense, holding them to 7 points for our playoff hopes in the balance here as they'll throw it. And Alex Smith, middle caught, and he gets leveled, but he hung on. Wow. As Smith with the blitz sent in, that's going to be caught by Larry Fitzgerald for a short gain of 6. And with 3:11 to go, they need to put points up on the board fast if they're going to have a chance at this one. 1-on-1, Anquan Bolden, big grab to the 24-yard line. And they are in field goal range to cut it to a 1-score game. But can they get the touchdown first? They're going to go for it, and they got it down to the 1. As now handoff, and he's going to get met. Loss of 3. That is massive. And now another handoff. He's going to get positive yards this time. Run over a man and a touchdown. So it's 17-14. It's up to the offense. Try to seal this thing up potentially if we can get a couple of first downs. 2-minute warning has hit. We're going to go Cashmont on the direct handoff, and he's going to take the snap, get the first down, and slide down. I like him playing safe there. Get the first down. Cashmont breaks a tackle. He's going to get tackled, though. Not really a lot of help there. 2nd and 11. 1 first down can end it, and he's going to get a completed pass, but no first down. 3rd down and 6. Can he end it here for our playoff hopes? It's incomplete. He almost threw a pick. Going to be up to the defense, man. Let's see if the defense can seal this thing up. Punt, it's going to be a good one. How about a great one, actually? Down at about the 1.5-yard line as Alex Smith's got to go a long way to try to make this happen. He's going to break a tackle after scrambling. Not going to get far, though. 43 seconds to go. Smith, quick pass. That's going to be tipped and incomplete. 4th down and 5 as the game on the line here for Alex Smith. He's going to have it caught, and that's going to keep things alive for a little bit longer. 35 seconds to go. Clock running. They got 1 timeout left, but they're not using it. Not yet, at least. They still need to get another big play or two if they want to get into field goal range. 27 seconds to go. Man in motion. It took him an extra 2 seconds to get that going, but Smith, he's going to go down the middle. Caught. Just tackle him in bounds, and we do midfield. They're hurrying it back to the line, holding on to that final timeout still, as maybe they're going to try to take one shot over the middle, call the timeout, kick a field goal. 12 seconds to go, but they're taking their time here as 9, 8, 7, and they spiked it, so they have enough time for maybe one quick play and call a timeout. Smith throwing, and he got sacked. He couldn't get it off. Now they're gonna have to rely on a Hail Mary. This isn't on the line, and they're gonna go up top. It's incomplete, and we're going to the playoffs after a brutal second stretch of the season. But still, somehow, you know, we end up in the same spot we were in last year at 10-6, which for a lot of teams, 10-6 would be exciting. I don't know. I mean, we're coming into this playoffs not too good in the second half of the year. We take on the 49ers, who we had a thrilling game against already this season. We barely beat them on a game-winning touchdown with under, 15 seconds to play. But yeah, the Saints lost, so I guess it didn't matter. We could have lost that game, but man, I mean, we went 10-6 and we had a minus point differential, and it's not even because the defense played bad. It's just because they were put in bad situations. How about we cover the second half of this game? 6-3 is the halftime score. As you could see, the defense doing their thing, but not Jared May. Second play, pick 6 in the playoffs. Come on. Second play of the half. He throws a pick 6 that changes everything. The defense had just allowed 3 points in the first half, and Jared May undoes all of that hard work as he throws a wobbler there. That should have been a pick. Fourth down, we have to punt the football away, and now the defense, I feel so bad for these guys as they have to come out here and, do as play picture perfect, it feels like. Third down and 2. Throwing, Campbell outside. That's going to be incomplete. Good job breaking that one up. Fourth down and 2, and the punt deep for Santana. Moss says he'll field it at about the 11-yard line, and he'll get a block, get about 20 yards on the return. We'll take that on the 31-yard line. As now we're going to see if the run game can help us out. No, it cannot. Loss of 3 as May, middle, open. That's going to be Hines Ward, and he'll get past the 45-yard line, gain of 20. As May, can he drive us down and finally get us into the end zone? As that ball, he just, I guess, missed 2 receivers there. Third down and 10. May, outside. That's tipped and incomplete. Also could have been picked, but we're going to catch a little bit of a bailout again. Not the first time, but a pass interference for San Francisco is going to move this drive along, and May, off his back foot, just checks it down to the running back. Gain of 5. Third down and 5, May. Got protection. Open man on the outside. There you go. Got the first down inside the red zone and down to the 12-yard line. Second and 9. Quick pass. He floats it up top. Touchdown. And oh, how I love these receivers. It's going to be 13-10. Niner football midway through the third. As the run stopped for a loss of 1. Second down and 11 is going to be the situation here for Jason Campbell to throw, middle, caught, and that's going to be a first down and more to the 44-yard line. As it's going to be a completed pass again. That was a tight window pass and in between a lot of defenders, but he got it. There's a Frank Gore on the carry. He'll break a tackle. Frank Gore got free! Frank Gore! Touchdown from 38 yards! And the defense does not allow many big runs, but a rare one there as Frank Gore made a miss. And now we got to go back out on offense and try again. 17-13 is your score. Third down and 1's the situation. Would have been the situation, but got a false start on the offense as we'll back up, and it'll be third down and 6. We got to go to the air now as May, middle. That's going to be caught. There you go. Big play there. And May, second and 11 with the play action. Rolling out. He'll throw. That's going to be a completed pass as well. DeFazio Combs with the play. Draw. Cashmon. Nowhere to go. Outside and inside was plugged up. Third quarter winding down as May finds a wide open receiver. That's going to be Zimmerman. He gets 9 in a third down and 1 situation. He slips a tackle, and that's huge to get the first. We enter the fourth quarter in a 1-score game. May with the play action. He'll throw, and it's going to be caught. He got it over the defender. That's huge. Right over the defender's head as May. End zone. Touchdown. And we got the lead back as the extra point. Are you kidding me? We missed an extra point? Our kicker is not serious right now. 19-17 is your score, so a field goal gives them the lead. great job there in coverage. 3rd down and 10. Campbell is going to go over the middle, wide open in the zone. And even though he took a shot, he hung on to that one with 7 minutes to play. He's got another open man, but he missed him this time. 3rd down and 10. Defense can get off the field here, and they will. Vrabel forces the incomplete pass, and we'll take the football back on a punt. And this ball is going to land right at the basically 1.5-yard line. That is brutal. Unlucky bounce, but let's not get a safety here because that would tie the game because of our missed extra point. As 2nd down and 6 with 6:30 to play. Play action May. He's got time, and he's going to throw deep middle. Caught by Hines Ward into the 33. Toss it out. That's going to be Cashman with room to run, and a 1st down carry there for 13. 2nd down and 10 after an incomplete pass. May's getting sacked. And we're going to be down to about 5.5 to play as the throw checked down underneath, and the fullback rumbling for a gain of decent amount, but not going to be enough for the 1st down. Jason Campbell back out there, and he gets sacked. And the defense, can they come up with another big stop? Set our offense up in position to maybe pad onto this lead a little bit. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 here. Might get a 3 and out. Campbell is going to go over the middle. That ball should have maybe been caught, but that was a little miscommunication there, and we'll take the football back on a punt. Santana Moss on the return. Will he set us up with something nice here? He makes a man miss, and Santana Moss past midfield. A spin move. Moss past the 40, and another man miss. Moss past the 30, 20, and he's down inside the 20. What a return. Santana Moss, even if it wasn't a touchdown. That was incredible. 46 yards. And now May with the play action. He'll throw on the run. End zone over everybody's head. 3rd down and 11. Just play it safe here, but he'll float one up top, and that's going to be caught impressively. Not going to get us the 1st down, and we'll settle for the field goal. But Santana Moss's efforts should not be ignored there, even if we didn't get a touchdown. What a return. This is maybe better than some of his touchdown returns that he had. 3:30 to go, and we have a touchdown lead as it is 22-17. And Campbell, 2nd down and 5. Middle, that's going to be caught. And time is winding down for this defense to come up with a big play. Blitz sent in. He just barely beat it, but it affected the pass. Incomplete. And on 3rd down and 9, back them up. That's going to be a false start. It'll be 3rd down and 14 for this defense, as it'll be a drop back pass. And he caught it, and he fights for the 1st down. And that was a missed opportunity there. 2.5 to go. Campbell up top on his head. Campbell couldn't make a play on it. And worse than 10 again from the 19. Open man. We're in pursuit. He's fighting. He keeps on pushing, and he gets into the end zone. 2-point conversion for the 3-point lead. And it's broken up. Niners up by 1, and Jared May has 2 minutes to do something big here. That's going to be an open man. Hines Ward makes a miss, and Hines Ward, if you weren't slow as dirt, you could have been gone, but we'll still take the big play, and we're in field goal range. Just play it safe, set up the field goal, and we could come out here with a victory. May! That was so dangerous. 3rd and 7. May again has an open man. 1st down inside the 20 with 1.5 minutes to play. Come on, guys. It's a handoff. Stretch left, and that's going to be no gain there. They'll give him 1. 2nd down and 9. Throwing as there's a lot of time outside. It's intercepted! Are you serious? Why did he throw that football in coverage? It's going to be taken the other way, and he is gone. Pick 6. Niners have a lead of 8 with the extra point. And while it's still a 1-score game, it's not over yet. May, you need to make up for that. As with 1 minute to go, May to throw it. He'll go to his receiver. That's a little too short. It hits the defender off his back. 50 seconds to go. Threw a check down right at the defender. 3rd down and 10. Over the middle. That's caught. He's fighting for more yards, but it's 4th and 1. And May, 4th and 1 for the game. He's got it. And Moss inside the 30. Keep this game going. 32 seconds to go. And that's incomplete. We got 2 timeouts. May, he's got time. He's looking. He's throwing to the outside. That's going to be caught. And we'll have to burn one there. 3rd down and 4 over the middle. Wide open man. And it's inside the 5. Down to the 2. Just need to get this ball into the end zone. 2-point conversion. We could take it to overtime and just somehow find a way to win this playoff game, as we are looking with no timeouts, drawing up a play for Santana Moss. We could go him or Combs. Moss was clutch in the last Niner game. Can he do it again? He'll drop back to throw it, and he'll go to the outside. Open man, Mercedes Lewis for the touchdown. And now it comes down to this. May to the line. 2-point conversion to send it to overtime in this playoff game. May throws it, and it's in coverage. Incomplete. And that might be it. Onside kick. Scooped up by the Niners, and just get me out of here. I mean, my goodness, man. I don't even want to. I don't care. I don't care about the stats. I don't care. Oh my goodness, man. Just get me out of here. Jared May. I can't with this guy. I mean, when you look at the stats, I think it's a miracle that I worked to get him down to 13 picks. But, I mean, everything else was just down. Touchdowns were down. He threw 1,200 less yards, a whole almost 2 less yards an attempt. And it's not because I didn't throw the ball as much. I mean, I threw the ball only 30 less times all season. He got sacked 10 more times. His completion percentage went down. His everything went down. And I tried to open up the offense and do something different. And it worked in some aspects because of the fact that we didn't turn the football over as much. But everything else went down because I couldn't trust him to do anything. And there were so many games where it was just 40 completion percentage, just mind-numbingly bad plays. Cashmont, up and down rookie season. DeFazio Combs, he's a miracle worker, it feels like. 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, not as prolific as his season last year, but this season was the trial to say, like, hey, is Jared May the guy for us? I mean, he steadily got better, but with this contract expiring, did this season inspire confidence to let you say, yeah, that's our guy right there? I don't think so. I don't think that the season he had and the playoff performance that he had, throwing 2 pick sixes and just choking away so many times, so many games throughout the years, I think we're done with him. And, you know, the more I thought about it and the more I'm like, man, like, what is, like, the comp for this team? What are we like? And, you know, it did hit me. And let me know if this sounds familiar. An offensive-minded head coach with 2 dynamic, speedy wide receivers, a young, speedy running back with a quarterback that has a weak arm, that's frustrating, that doesn't always do well in the big moments, that just can't get the job done. And we're the Dolphins. We are the Dolphins. We are Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, speed, flash, big plays. But our quarterback can't get the job done. And, hey, you can win with Tua. You can win with Jared May. We made the playoffs. You can win with them. But you're not going to win much else. You're not going to win a bunch of games, like 13, 14 games. You're not going to win much in the playoffs. I got Jared May a playoff victory. But when the weather gets colder, things get tougher, just doesn't happen. And he's a weak-armed system, just product of his surroundings quarterback. And, I mean, also, look at this monumental season. At least it's never this bad for us. How about Josh Betts putting up the biggest stinker season I have ever seen in my life? 3 touchdowns, 32 picks, and this was a guy who played every game. Oh my goodness. If you ever think it's bad on your end, just know it can always get worse, I guess. He threw a pick in every single game except for one, and it turned out to be like one of the only games they won. So the Lions, oh boy, they need a quarterback too. That's crazy, but yeah, I mean, I was like, man, we have our Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua. We have our Devon Achane, a young running back who's really explosive. You know, we do have a better offensive line because the Dolphins don't pay attention to the offensive line, but we do have a better offensive line. We got some veterans on defense. We had really good defensive outings, but it's like, man, we're not winning with Tua. You know, the Rams weren't going to win with Jared Goff. They wanted to go get their Matthew Stafford. They wanted to go get their guy. I haven't gotten my opportunity to go and hand pick my quarterback because we haven't had the draft. We haven't been in a position in the draft to do that. Jared May wasn't a first-round pick. That wasn't my hand-picked guy. That wasn't the guy I, mortgaged my future for. That wasn't the guy I spent a premium draft pick on. That was a guy who was just a player of circumstance for us. He happened to be there, and we needed a quarterback, and he got the opportunity. Is he a bad quarterback? No. He's a starting caliber quarterback. But he's not the guy to take us to the edge. He's not the guy to take us to a Super Bowl. He's not the guy that I have any confidence in to be our future. And if you are still a May believer, did this season make you believe? Or did this season make you see it how I see it as it's just not happening? It's just not it. And I see it as, yeah, he threw away less picks, but everything else went down. He handicapped our offense. He can't get it done in the big moments. Aside from that one regular season game where he threw a touchdown to Santana Moss, everything else has just been frustrating. I feel limited in my play calling because I can't do what I want to do as a play caller because I know he can't do it. That's also another part of it. If I just called everything that I wanted to call, it wouldn't go well. I had to try to conform the offense to what he can do so that it didn't get out of hand. And that's why the interceptions went down. That's why some of the things went down, because I made it so it went that way. So I can't do it. He doesn't spread the ball around. He doesn't get the ball to the tight end very much. He doesn't do much. He doesn't give us anything that I can be excited about. So the offense the last 2 years had been top 5, top 10. This year, you have to scroll a little while, way down. And, at that point, that's also on me. Like, I am the offensive guy. If the defense does bad, hey, that's the defensive coordinator. I hired a guy to do that. If the offense is bad, I'm the offensive guy. That's a reflection of me. I'm tired of being handicapped by an anchor at quarterback. This is a good QB class. And while we did make the playoffs, so we're not going to have a good draft pick, whatever I have to do, whatever I have to trade, whatever it is, we're getting a quarterback this year. Jared May is not going to be the quarterback of this team next year. I don't know how we're going to get up that high to take a quarterback, because we're probably going to need to get into the top 5 to take one of the premium guys. I don't want to settle. No disrespect to any of the quarterbacks, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th guy in the class. We already did that with Jared May. We can't just settle for a day 2 quarterback. We can't settle for overdrafting a guy in the first round. We need to go get a guy. I'll trade my first round pick. I'll trade a first rounder next year. I'll trade a big player. I'll do what I have to do. But this defense is good now. The defense was the weakness. The defense is good now. We had a lot of great performances. I don't need a superstar at quarterback. Jared May, though, is not at the very least, give me somebody who manages the game well. Give me somebody. Like, Jared May is like a Jameis Winston type of player where it's like, man, it's just a headache. And he'll make some good plays, but it's just a headache. I don't need a superstar, but give me a Brock Purdy at least. Give me somebody. Give me something I can latch on to. I just think that's going to be where we need to make a move. If you maybe throughout this season, there's still people out there like, yeah, Jared May, I mean, you're still too hard on him. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm too hard on him. I think I'm right about this. And this is the decision coaches need to make, man. Like, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I get rid of May. He becomes a star elsewhere. I draft a quarterback. He stinks it up. I get fired. That's the type of decision these quarterbacks and these teams make. There was a world where, I go back to, I think, Stafford and Goff as the most recent logical example of he's fine. But if Jared Goff, if Matthew Stafford stunk and they didn't win a Super Bowl, the trade would be laughed at, and McVay would have been like the devil to the Rams fans, because like, man, you traded away Goff, who went on to become pretty solid for the Lions, won them games, and we got old man Stafford, who didn't do us anything, but he won the Super Bowl. He was vindicated. He was right. So I'm trying to be vindicated. I'm trying to be right here. I don't want to just be okay and, you know, hope everything lines up and hope everything magically happens. I want to go out there and attack and get a quarterback that can be the leader of this franchise. And on top of that, it's just like, does Jared May inspire belief that we should pay him? Because that's also the thing. You'd have to pay him. Like, it's not just like, oh, he's under contract, he's under his rookie deal. We have to pay Jared May. I don't want to pay him big money. That takes away money from other places. And in general, I just wouldn't want to pay a quarterback I didn't fully believe in. But I don't want to rag too much on him and spend the whole time just talking about him. We're on to the offseason where, I mean, when it comes to the coaching staff, we don't need to change a whole lot. I mean, the defensive coaching, great. We'll keep everything intact if we can. I think the only thing that I'm like really looking to change probably, I think the special teams coordinator's probably run its course. Special teams was a little brutal last year, and we didn't even have all the crazy kick return touchdown stuff to really, you know, go crazy about, at least when Santana Moss was getting 4 kick return touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. We don't even have that anymore. So it's just bad field goals and not a whole lot else. So I do still want to keep everything else. Bob Sardisco, I mean, how about the #1 rush defense, #7 total defense? And if it wasn't for the fact that there's so many bad situations, I mean, there were so many times where points were allowed that weren't even on the defense. It was just pick sixes or scoop and scores. So it's not on the defense. Bishop Harris, will keep him around. Running back coach, want to keep developing Cashmont. Mike Johnson, 99 overall receiver coach, and hey, he sticks around. So credit to Mike Johnson, who has just continued to stick around. He could have left to go to a bigger contender to be a wide receiver coach or try to be an offensive coordinator somewhere. He's stuck around time after time. So we keep on going through. Nobody's quit or anything yet. I would like to, you know, hope that somebody like Todd Bowles won't quit, because that could potentially happen. Todd Bowles is probably, you know, any moment he could get offered a defensive coordinator job. So he sticks around. So we're happy with that. Everyone's stuck around. And Danny Smith is the only guy that I'm really, you know, we were good in yards per return, but field goal percentage, no. Special teams touchdowns, 11th is fine. Punting, no. So we'll just fire that. You know, get our own guy in there. Trainer, still good there, 99 overall. So at special teams coordinator, we have this guy here, level 5 in development for kickers and punters. And, you know, I'm not really looking to, like, develop kickers and punters. I would more just like them to perform good. And, you know, the Patriots are going to fight me on this one. I'm not really going to fight hard for a special teams coordinator that much. So we're going to miss out on the best guy here. Then there's this guy. Don't really care. I'm looking to see if there's something. But, like, the overall quickly dropped off. You know, went from 79, and we're already at people 30 overall, so we might have missed out on the best person that we could have possibly gotten, because even if these guys have high performance, their development stinks. I'm not looking for these level 1s, more level 1s. I mean, you don't need to be a crazy developer, but, like, you know, I don't want some of that dude was like a really old guy. I didn't want him. So looking for a younger player or younger guy. Trent Kirkhoff is the person we eventually landed on. I don't know if that's exactly the best person, but, you know, you take a risk because you don't get told all the information. So it's a special teams coordinator at the end of the day, not the biggest deal, but 3 performance at his max. We can work with that. That's not the end of the world. So maybe not the person we're going to keep long term, but again, like I said, not the end of the world. And then for my personal upgrades, I don't think I'm going to touch anything here. I want to save up for this 30,000 pass game discipline. I want to save up for that. We're at 24,000. So I'm probably going to hold on to my points for now and just kind of move on. So we'll take a look at how the Super Bowl unfolded and how everything went. Eagles won their first game. Raiders finally won their playoff game. Eagles then take a loss. Colts take a loss. It goes to Titans and Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. A crazy random Super Bowl, but yeah, Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. Good on them, I guess. Go through the roster here, and, you know, with this weird mesh of talent that we have, some players old, some players really young. You got your Santana Moss, Chris Cooley, late 20s, early 30s. Chris Cooley at an 87 overall. We're at the point where it is feasible to move on from him, and I think that could be an option. I wouldn't want to cut him, like he's too good to just cut. But if a trade pops up, then I think we'll be in the market potentially to move on from him. Like, even if we get more tight end usage, it just wouldn't be enough, I feel like, to keep him. Victor Abiamiri, definitely going to look to trade or move him. He's a backup on this team at this point, getting paid almost $5 million. So probably going to look to move on from him. Linebacking core, love it. Chris Gamble, another player, probably going to look to move on from. He was going to be a stopgap, short-term fill-in, but I want a better corner. Franchise tag. So feels like every single year, I think this is the third straight year I've done this, where it's like, Mike Vrabel's sitting there. You know what? Let's try to tag and trade Mike Vrabel, because the last 2 years I keep holding on to Vrabel, thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna get to trade him and get something nice for him, and then he ends up sticking around on the team, and then we just end up with a really good player on our team. So like, it keeps happening. They want us to acquire kicker, punter, but it's quarterback. They want us to acquire a quarterback of at least 85 overall. We hope that, it might be a rookie that we're looking at. Chad Gunn here is the best player at the Senior Bowl, but, guys like Jermaine Shazer and others are going to be available to us as well. But when it comes to a Mike Vrabel trade, I do think that a trade is finally going to materialize this year, and I want to have as many assets as I possibly can for whatever trade we need to make in the draft. Like, this offseason is going to be a little weird, where I don't anticipate going too crazy in free agency. We got Merriman, we got Calais Campbell, we got Cromartie last year for the offseason. So, like, we got some big pieces. We gave out some big contracts. We don't need to hand out a bunch of big contracts even more. I would like to get maybe another corner and, kind of fill in some of the other gaps that we'll have, like a number 3 receiver, maybe backup running back, tight end, if maybe a future plan for Chris Cooley pops up, a couple other places to fill in. But I'm just looking more so to just have as many assets as we can, see if we can make a trade for however high we can get in the draft to take a quarterback. And I doubt there's going to be a whole lot else on the market for veterans. I'm looking for a young guy to develop, unless something crazy pops up for like a Peyton Manning or something, which obviously isn't going to happen. I'm going to look for a young guy to develop. So that's going to be like the big bulk of this offseason, is just trying to figure out this quarterback situation and then touch up other pieces of this roster. Like I said, we have a lot of spots filled. We got our offensive line. We got 2 receivers that we like. We got a running back. We got, 2 safeties now. We got a full linebacking core. We got a defensive line that we like. We have a lot. Like, this team is ready to go and be a contender if we just get that final piece at quarterback. So it's really going to be down to that. But ultimately, expect this offseason to be down to more trading than signing. I think free agency might be pretty quiet for us. Also, this dude, Tony K, just randomly compared to Ed Reed. I don't know how that happens, where this dude's randomly compared to Ed Reed. I guess we'll take a look at him, though. But, always want to show you guys the senior all-star stuff, since that stuff is a lot more important than the combine things. And, we'll get into the draft stories for the combine, the individual workouts, the mock draft, all this other stuff, the most exciting part of this game. And I think once we wrap things up here, we have some draft stories.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your Senior Classic update. The national championship game has been played, and the USC Trojans once again are your national champions after defeating Tennessee 27-7. The biggest news out of the Senior Classic was the emergence of Alabama cornerback Melvin McBride and defensive end Jarrett Leafy from Nebraska. They both showed up to play, dominating each and every practice with their heart and tenacity. Every scout who left the Senior Classic had to come away impressed with both these guys. Another star of the week was Wisconsin's Matt Beckham. He was dominating all week long and moved himself into the top 5 to 10 picks with his showing. That's all for now. I'll see you at the Combine.
So a couple of positions there to keep an eye on. So quarterback workouts here. Jermaine Shazer, my goodness, 4.41 40 time. So he's just absolutely blazing speed. And how about this too, though? Chad Gunn, 72 miles an hour on the speed. That is absurd. So you got a crazy speedy quarterback for, especially like this era. Like 4.4 is like good today, But like, brother, in 2012, you know, I mean, literally, this is the time where RG3 came out and Washington made the big trade up for RG3. But RG3 was a player who could run a 4.4 pretty easily, and like that was just absurd. So, you know, that's going to be pretty interesting to monitor as well. So we get our first little taste of restricted free agency that we have to look at. So we'll get into that a little bit. And here is the free agency class, players that we'll have to look at. Quarterback market, Jared May restricted. We have Donovan McNabb, and I'm not really interested in bringing back Jason Campbell. So it's not really going to be much for us on the quarterback market. Running back, if we're going to find a backup, it'll probably be in the draft. Receiver, we do not need a receiver. Larry Fitzgerald being available is interesting. We need a number 3, but again, I think I could find that in the draft. I don't think I need to pay. Or maybe go for a stopgap veteran. Tight end, a lot of guys there. We don't need a tight end right now. Lineman, Cliff Kennedy is a restricted free agent. We'll be sure to take care of that one. It won't be too expensive. Defensive end, we traded Marcus Long, so we don't need to bring him back. Emeka Mourning, some of these other guys here. Could get some depth. Defensive tackle, I think we need a number 2, but again, don't need to pay crazy money. Like you can see, we have a lot of spots where it's like, we don't need to do anything crazy for these guys. So, cornerback, I want a number 2 corner. That's kind of where I'd be looking. I don't know if I love the market there. Safety, I mean, the safety market's always brutal, but yeah, here is our first restricted free agency decision that actually like matters. Cliff Kennedy, we're going to get this taken care of. We're going to get him on a contract. So you tender the player. We'll probably slap a second or a third round on him. I doubt any team's going to be willing to give us like a third round pick to negotiate with Cliff Kennedy. He's a nice player, but not like something you're going out of your way to give up some premium draft pick for. You know, also wanted to show you a 4.23 cornerback 40 time, but you know, not much to show for the combine. We'll get into the draft stories here as well.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your NFL Combine report. The Combine just wrapped up, and the buzz was focused around 3 players. Virginia Robo quarterback Jermaine Shazer had a great combine, running a 4.4 140. He will be a locked top 5 pick now, maybe even the number 1 overall pick. Texas cornerback Terrell Lewis helped himself immensely after a 4.38 40 and a 36-inch vertical jump. He was an early entry and was thought of more as a second-day pick, but now, after the combine, he looks like a first-day lock. And last but not least was Stanford defensive line prospect Sean Backus. He looked really comfortable in all the positional drills and showed off his raw strength by doing 44 reps of 225 pounds. That's all I have from the Combine. See you all next time. Thanks for watching NFL Network.
Yeah, Jermaine Shazer's pretty crazy. 95 throw power, 93 speed. 30 learning, a little brutal there, but like he is absurd. 21 years old. Yeah, he looks awesome, and him, a couple of these other players look great. Chad Gunn is here. He's got 98 throw power, but 46 speed, 83 accuracy. We do know because he was a senior, 24 years old. So it's definitely looking like those are kind of the 2 quarterbacks to keep your eyes on. And then the restricted free agency decision for Jared May. So, for those of you who don't know restricted free agency, just quickly, we get to set a tender on him. I'm going to select second round. If a team does not want to offer a contract to him, we get him on a $1.4 million one-year deal where I could do whatever I want with him. If a team offers him a contract, I will have the opportunity to match that contract and pay whatever they pay him. If not, I'll get a second round pick for it. So we'll see how that goes down, and if a team offers Mike Vrabel, though, it's time to finally trade Mike Vrabel, and we've been kind of sitting on him for a couple of years, waiting for the right offer to pop up, and the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers have come out swinging with an offer I wouldn't have expected, but it's not an offer I can ignore. John Gruden says, hey, you know what? We just won a Super Bowl. Our window to maybe become a dynasty is right here, right now. How about taking the number 32 overall draft pick to trade Mike Vrabel, who's an old player? He's so good. He's, like, really good. Like, I know he's old, but you can see how good Mike Vrabel plays for us. You can't be, too surprised someone would want him badly, but we have traded Mike Vrabel for the number 32 overall pick.
I'm Todd McShay, and this is the NFL Draft Preview. My mock first round is done, but there are still a lot of question marks at the top of the board. Right now, I have Jermaine Shazer leading the group after his stellar season, but watch out for tackle prospect Matt Beckham. He could go number 1 as well. He's that type of special talent at the left tackle position. The one thing this draft has for sure is USC defensive talent. It's stocked full of them. I'm calling for at least 4 first-rounders, but you could see as many as 5 come off the board in the first round. And if you're looking for a potential bust, look no further than Hawaii middle linebacker Brandon Schobel. The guy plays soft, and he doesn't take football nearly as seriously as he does surfing the North Shore waves in Hawaii. Stay away from him if you can.
Dang, Tom McShay really went after that random Hawaii linebacker. But here's the mock draft that we have, and it's a little rough. Chad Gunn at number 2, Shazer number 6 is what they project. So, like we kind of figured, to get a quarterback, we're going to have to get into the top 5. We're at 23, and we have 32 now. They project us to take Jay McCormick at the bottom of the first round. If I can package 23, 32, and something else to go and get up there, I would. So that's kind of where we're looking here. 2 first-round picks. We have a first-rounder next year. I will trade all 3 first-round picks if I have to get up into the top 5. Like, I don't care anymore. We need a quarterback so badly, and I'll pass on a first-round pick to go and get him. So looking at some of the free agents, just kind of seeing where they go. Antonio Gates will be going to the Bills. Tony Gonzalez, it's a very rich tight end free agency. So Tony Gonzalez, who is still playing at 36 years old and is a 94 overall, so still absurdly good. He'll be going to the Denver Broncos. And to see Jason Witten as well, who is a free agent. Now he's a little bit more, little younger at 29 and wanting a 5-year deal. I would hope he doesn't have to, go back into the division here to go to like Philly or something. They dropped out, and it's looking like the Falcons might get him. Yes, they will. Falcons will be getting Jason Witten. How about another great tight end? Dallas Clark, 93 overall, 32 years old. All these tight ends are just on the market. I mean, teams just don't value their tight ends, I guess. It is what it is. So Dallas Clark will be going to the Saints. Again, another like $5 million contract. Here's Larry Fitzgerald. I would love to if I needed a wide receiver, but I just don't need a receiver. And it's crazy. The Cardinals let him go. Like, that's absurd. How dare you get rid of Larry Fitzgerald like that? Like I said, if I needed a wide receiver that badly, I would. I don't have the facilities to pay a receiver $8 million a year when I have Santana Moss and I have DeFazio Combs. So it just doesn't make sense, especially to pay him as like a, bump Santana down to number 3, make Fitzgerald my number 2. Fitzgerald's a lower overall because I have speed receiver archetype, so he doesn't fit. John Beeson, a player I like a lot. Buccaneers, how about that? Buccaneers get John Beeson, and they traded for Mike Vrabel. So coming off a Super Bowl, this is a team that also didn't even have a great quarterback situation, and the Bills and Buccaneers are fighting for our former quarterback, Jason Campbell, who's gone all the way up to a 90 overall, which is maybe curious that we got rid of him, but he's going to go and get paid. Donovan McNabb is going to be a free agent on a 1-year rental type of deal, and McNabb is going to be going to the Buccaneers, isn't he? He goes to the Packers. Okay. Jared May. Here's the decision. Team has offered him a contract. The Seahawks have offered him a 4-year deal worth $24 million. That is not a crazy deal, but I said I'm done with Jared May. I don't want to pay him. I don't want him on the team. I don't want him here. So we have essentially traded Jared May for a 2nd-round pick, meaning we now have 2 firsts and 2 seconds. These are assets we are going to use to try to move up in the draft. I don't anticipate us selecting 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. Maybe something still happens that way, but we'll see. Joker Davis at UNLV, I want to get an eye on him. I want to get an eye on every quarterback I possibly can, even if it's guys that I'm not like the highest on. McCormick. We have Teddy Knox here, who was a player that was drafted a couple years back, free agency, 89 overall. And I would actually think Teddy Knox for the price would be a pretty good move for us, but again, I don't think we're going to go for it, even though like $3 to $4 million is actually a pretty good deal for him. I don't like, he's an 89 overall because speed archetype is just overpowered, but like, a lot of these players who have speed archetype got like abysmal hands. I'm not gonna really go for that. We have 30 million in cap space, but you really have to keep in mind that we have to pay our draft picks, and if we want to go and draft premium quarterback, we're gonna have to pay him a chunk of money. The area that I did say I was looking at though was cornerback. I want a number 2 cornerback, and there was a couple players I was looking at, and I think the best one was actually a player that I was looking to draft all the way back, and I believe year 1 was Ronaldo Moon. He is on the Green Bay Packers, and this was, like I said, a player that fit my scheme a lot, and I was thinking of drafting all the way back in year 1, and the price to get him is not absurd. I feel like Victor Abiamiri and maybe a mid-round pick plus a day 3 pick can get the job done. So, you know, an 88 overall corner for an 84 overall defensive end and some draft capital, I would be willing to give up Abiamiri, a 4th and a 6th, for example, for that. So I think this is a really good deal. And I mean, I'm going to try to make it a 4th next year, but even if it is a 4th this year, I'm not really minding that. So we have made a pretty significant trade, I feel like. We needed cornerback help badly, I feel like, you know, with our number 2. And getting Ronaldo Moon, again, a player that I was looking at years ago to draft, having him with Antonio Cromartie is going to be awesome. He's got 2 years left on his deal, so there may come a time where we have to pay him. He's been good for the Packers, steadily gotten better. 1 pick, 2 pick, 4 pick deflections have gone up. But you can see 93 man coverage, more of a man corner. Not overly athletic, you know, 90 speed, 87 acceleration, but a really solid outside corner for us. And, you know, the free agency didn't really have what we were looking for. And if I wanted to make one move, I said number 2 corner was the move. Now, for our individual workouts, it's going to be pretty straightforward for me to what I'm going to do with my 10 individual workouts. We need to go and look at quarterback. Jermaine Shazer, you could see his overall kind of went down a little bit. His accuracy got revealed to be a 74. And, you know, you can kind of see the decision that will need to be made. Do you want to go for the young, raw quarterback, the strong arm guy? Jay McCormick actually does look pretty solid. Some of these other guys look pretty interesting. It really does come down to how high in the draft we can get. I mean, last year I did want to take a shot at Anquan Taylor and just go for the big, athletic, toolsy quarterback, and it just didn't go our way. So maybe we just don't get the opportunity to. Maybe we just don't get the offer. Maybe we just get stuck. A offer we will make here, Emeka Mourning. No one wanted him. He's an 85 overall, and I guess to fill out that defensive line, Abiamiri was a $4 to $5 million player. So to trade him and then go sign Emeka Mourning for $2 million a year, I think is a very good replacement. But before we get into the next round of draft stories, I will say the potential that we'll kind of figure out with all these quarterbacks, you do have to keep in mind that the potential is within, like, what our archetype is. But obviously a guy like Jermaine Shazer, if we were to get him, we would change our archetype to, you know, mobile quarterback, because that obviously makes sense. So you do have to keep that in mind. I am kind of looking at it from a strong arm or pure passer, field general type standpoint, just to kind of see what their max is on that. I know Shazer can be a great dual threat quarterback. I mean, he's got absurd numbers and speed and everything. I want to see what he can be as a you know, passer, you know, what he can be as a thrower, because the accuracy is starting off a lot lower than some of these other guys, but I want to know how high it can eventually get to. That's going to be very important. If his cap is only at like 80, that's going to be a little bit of a scary situation to deal with.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and this is another draft update. There were over 250 NFL scouts and player personnel directors at USC's Pro Day. It was the pro day to be at this year, with over 5 day 1 prospects, including the only place to see stud sophomore defensive tackle Rondell Lee. After ducking out on the combine, scouts were really anxious to see Lee run and do drills. He was the big winner with an outstanding performance that really boosted his stock. I also had a chance to attend the Notre Dame Pro Day. I really came away impressed with defensive tackle prospect Ryan Garrity and linebacker Chris Percival. Both guys really impressed scouts with their attitudes, and both really ran well in the time drills. Here's a gem for you, Sam Creighton from Arkansas Pine Bluff. This kid is on the short side at 5'9". Hey, I'm on the short side, I can identify, but man, does he pack a punch. He reminds me a lot of a young Bob Sanders.
A young Bob Sanders is very interesting. If it wasn't for the fact that I literally took a safety last year, Sam Creighton would be somebody I'd be super interested in. I mean, he's got the athleticism. He's short, yeah, but like, man, that looks fun. Like, depending on how things fall with how much it's going to take to make a trade up, we may still have another pick or two, depending on how things fall. Maybe the team that we trade up with is going to want some players, which would be a little risky. But how about this? Rondell Lee. How about a comp to Alan Page? That is absurd, and he is ridiculous. Like, he's crazy. He's amazing. I don't even need to use an individual workout on him. Like, if I were not in the situation where I was dealing with needing a quarterback, I would be, like, sending everything to try to get Rondell Lee on this team because that dude is absurd. Andrew Turnbow is going to be the next quarterback we can potentially take a look at there. He actually does look pretty solid. 6 individual workout. The other 2 quarterbacks that we have, Jay McCormick, and then Ramsey White is the other guy that you could potentially take a look at. I think linebacker could also be a need for us. We're going to be kicking Thomas Howard back to the outside linebacker spot, his original traditional position, meaning in the middle we have Michael Poe, and we'll not have a number 2 middle linebacker. I would like to get a number 2. Again, this offseason's been about filling out these other areas, number 2 linebacker, number 2 corner, maybe a number 2 D tackle, number 3 receiver, number 2 running back. So it's been about filling out some of these other spots. Chris Percival, one of the players I talked about, honestly not really in love with his athleticism and everything. Doesn't really impress me too much. Some of these other linebackers, Brandon Barber, he's all right. Like, a lot of these linebackers, I can't really cover that well. Cordell Sosa, pretty good. I mean, we haven't even really talked, like, I spoke about Rondell Lee, but we haven't even really talked about a lot of these USC defensive players. Like, there's so many good ones. I want to see Adam Dade and what he has to offer. It is almost time for that very nerve-wracking time where, we got a couple of workouts left, then draft stories, then we're on to the draft. I want to look at, that Bob Sanders look-alike clone, basically, because I'm still interested at the very least, because it would be cool. We can use 3 safeties. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. But, just in case, I don't want to full send quarterback only and just not have any info on anybody else. I am looking at some receivers. Number 3 receiver, like I said, is important, but Santana Moss getting up there in age. I could see us spending something to get a receiver. Also, running back, I am interested in getting a number 2 guy. Cordell Sosa is a guy I kept coming back to. Good coverage linebacker. And maybe somebody that could kind of give us a little bit of what Mike Vrabel gave us, because Mike Vrabel was really good in coverage for some reason, but, a big-time clutch player. So we'll take a look at him. And then the final workout, I think just to cover all the bases, we'll go with the last quarterback in Ramsey White, just so we have the info on everybody.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and this is your final NFL Draft update of the season. Virginia Tech's Tavard Bolston worked out for scouts recently and has really moved up the board since then. He looked really good in drills and is far and away the most physically dominating offensive line prospect in this year's draft at 6'9", 340 pounds. In that same workout, one guy's stock who's heading south is Jason Erickson from Vandy. He was getting manhandled by Bolston and did not do himself any good at the workout. Jermaine Shazer looked really sharp throwing the ball for NFL teams at his workout. Look for him to be a top 3 pick for sure, the first quarterback off the board. He has moved well ahead of Texas Tech Chad Gunn in my mind. New Mexico State's Dominique Mitchell looks like a big find as well. He ran really well at his workout, and now teams are talking about spending a first-round pick on the big 6'5" possession receiver.
All we got to do now, look at these players, their potential. Creighton went 86. I think I know what quarterback I am eyeing right now in this draft, but Creighton 86 potential, it's whatever. Cordell Sosa 89, I'm interested. We'll see if I even have a shot at him with another pick. Adam Dade 87 potential, nothing crazy there, but the Zach Thomas comp, pretty interesting. And then the final non-quarterback, Lance Spence, who I was looking at the receiver that I kind of like the most in that first to second round area if I get the opportunity. But let's take a look at these quarterbacks. That's going to be the important thing here. So, Ramsey White from bottom to top, 80 potential. He's a bit more of an athlete, but a weaker arm, not too accurate, and, kind of iffy learning. So, definitely a low-end starter, high-end backup. Jay McCormick, 87 potential, strong arm, 78 accuracy, not a great learner. Probably not somebody I'm overly excited to draft. Jermaine Shazer, 88 potential, but again, this is as a pure passer of the football. This is not as a, if I were to switch my archetype to mobile quarterback, it would go up. Andrew Turnbow, how about that? 93 throw power, 80 accuracy with 90 potential, solid learning. Definitely a solid option at 6'6", 23 years old. I don't hate him as a prospect. Corey Bobo, 91 potential. Weaker arm, solid accuracy, a Matt Hasselbeck comp, like a safe, reliable, but nothing crazy. And then there's Chad Gunn at 92 potential, 69 learning as a strong-armed quarterback. So, very interesting how everything shapes out. I know the guy that I would be eyeing in this class for my offense, and we'll see if we can make it happen because it's draft time. And this is where everything changes. The Texans don't need a quarterback. They are probably not taking a quarterback. I won't be able to trade for the #1 pick. So let's see who the Texans take with the #1 overall pick.
Brian Joker Davis is a natural playmaker from UNLV who led the nation in total touchdowns with 19, setting both the school and conference records. Davis really flashes a second gear in the open field, and he's a threat to take it the distance each and every time his hands touch the ball. At 5'11", he needs to prove that teams should not be afraid of drafting wide receivers under 6 feet. Expect Joker Davis to be compared to a mini version of Steve Smith, so safe to say I love the pick, and some team will too.
So here's where everything kind of changes, and the Lions have some interest in moving down from the #2 pick. The Lions had a disastrous quarterback situation last year. The Lions also offered us a first-round pick for Jared May last year, which we turned down. They need a quarterback, but they also need everything. They want our players. I threw basically any player that I was somewhat willing to part ways with on the trade block. And if we want to move up to the #2 overall pick, it would be a pretty premium price to pay. The number 23 overall pick would basically have to be included, and they want 2 of our players. They want one of our offensive linemen, maybe even 2. They say no there. We can keep kind of negotiating this over and over again. They really kind of seem like they want to trade down because they could have easily just said, no, we don't want to make the trade and then made a selection. But for as much as they're saying they don't want to trade, seems like they want to trade. They want a first-round pick and 2 great players. Will it need to be Chris Cooley and Davin Joseph? So basically trading like a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. Even though Cooley hasn't had the production, he's still a really good player. He just doesn't fit in our offense. And then Davin Joseph, who's a 90 overall Pro Bowl guard. Is it worth trading a 90 overall guard, our starting tight end? So 2 of our offensive starters and a first-round pick? I think so. I think that that's the move that I need to make. And I said that no matter what, we were going to come out in this draft and take a quarterback, and we were going to go out and we were going to do everything we could to try and send whatever. I basically threw everybody on the trade block, not named Fazio Combs and Travian Davis, and I basically threw everyone on there basically saying, who do you want? We need to go and make this trade. I tried to make that second round Cumberland trade work. It's not going to happen. We are going to trade 2 of our offensive starters and a first round draft pick, number 23 overall, to move up to #2. In real life, Jaden Daniels was the #2 overall pick. In real life, in the year 2012, Washington made a blockbuster trade up to get to #2 to make the selection of RG3. And in this game, we are going to not select Jermaine Shazer. We are selecting Chad Gunn as our future quarterback.
When you hear Texas Tech and Chad Gunn's resume, you might think inflated numbers due to the gimmick offensive scheme that only works at the college level. But you'd be very wrong to make those assumptions with this particular Red Raider gunslinger. Chad Gunn has a rocket launcher for a right arm and uses it to throw one of the best deep balls I've ever seen. The knock on Gunn is his lack of mobility. That's legitimate. He's not going to get away from many defensive ends in the National Football League. But that sure didn't matter much when he threw for over 5,000 yards and 56 touchdowns last year, both of which led the nation.
I feel like I'll need to explain myself on that one a little bit because a lot of people probably wanted me to take Jermaine Shazer. And I will explain, but I don't want to cut off a lot of the draft stories that are going to be going on, so we'll carry on with those draft stories.
Jermaine Shazer played one official year of Division 1A football and proved that he's more than ready for the NFL. His rocket left arm and 4.4 speed are what have a lot of fans around the league clamoring for their favorite teams to draft him all throughout the offseason. Some are already calling him one of college football's most exciting players in the last 25 years. I tend to agree with them. Shazer is going to be one highlight after another running the football. And once he gets the passing game mastered, he might take over the league.
Was it not enough in the real world to have Washington and Chicago warring over Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams? Well, in the virtual world, it's going to be Washington versus Chicago, but it's Jermaine Shazer versus Chad Gunn. Chicago making the trade up to select him. Bobo gets selected by Miami, and I think that this is going to be a lot of excitement going on between a couple of these teams in the NFC now with our stacked division and the eventual run-in with Jermaine Shazer in Chicago.
Blessed with a rare combination of size and speed, Cordell Sosa out of USC is one linebacker you don't want to see lining up when you're an offensive coordinator. Sosa can do it all. He led USC with 12 sacks last year. He can cover most tight ends and even some slot receivers and is a top-notch player against the run. He was the defensive MVP of college football and was the driving force behind USC's number 2 ranked defense all season long. Look for Sosa to make an immediate impact in whatever role the team wants him to take on. Air Force's Adam Dade is a smart, productive, and tough middle linebacker who lived up to all the hype set by lofty preseason expectations. After a bunch of the magazines put Dade and Air Force on the cover as the preseason number 1 team, a lot of people thought it would fall apart after the disappointing start to Air Force's season at 1-3. But Dade took the bull by the horns and decided to lead the nation in tackles instead with over 185 tackles, leading the Falcons to a bowl despite getting written off after the bad start. Dade has great instincts and hits like a ton of bricks. Look for him to lead by example the minute he steps into the building for this NFL team.
As per usual with these drafts, you get a couple of draft stories back to back. Now, I did really want to try to make a potential move up for Rondell Lee because he's just so crazy, and the fact that he wasn't picked in the top 10's a little wild. But the Cowboys, I didn't really want to pay a premium price to a division rival. And of course, because of that, the Cowboys go and take Rondell Lee, who is... yeah, that's going to be fun to deal with in our division 2 times a year. Rondell Lee, everybody. He's going to be in a Cowboys jersey, which is depressing a little bit. So we did get to keep our other first-round pick due to the trade. They wanted players, not picks. Andrew Turnbow goes to San Diego, interestingly enough.
Aaron Swank is yet another first-round USC defensive player taken in this draft. Swank reminds me a lot of Dunta Robinson coming out of college. Excellent cover skills, legit sub 4.4 speed, and good anticipation when the ball's in the air. After a great true freshman season where he led the Pac-10 with 8 interceptions, he lost his confidence as a sophomore and was demoted to second string. He rebounded with a fabulous junior season where he was 3rd in the nation in pass breakups and now looks like the primo NFL cornerback prospect everyone thought he would become. Kellen Cantu is another USC first-round pick who's more than likely headed for a long and productive NFL career. Cantu feels extremely hard against the run, and he'll sacrifice his body to make the big play over and over again. He reminds me of a Brian Dawkins-type player, great intensity, a true team leader, loves to blitz, and has great speed to keep up with receivers on deep patterns. Cantu simply commanded the secondary better than any coach could ever hope to, so don't be surprised to see that same type of leadership transfer over to the next level. Beckham is a former tight end with impressive athleticism for his size and is far and away the top offensive tackle prospect in the draft. At Wisconsin, Beckham started 39 straight games going back to his true freshman season, so durability is really not an issue here. He also has outstanding balance and rarely overextends in pass protection, making him a great fit at left tackle for any team in the league.
My goodness, man. 3 draft stories in a row, basically. I didn't even get to talk much. So, the Lions here, with the pick that we traded them, go with a wide receiver. I think it's interesting. The Lions had a disaster season on all fronts and basically decided we want to just get talent over just drafting one quarterback and throwing them into a disaster situation, which is going to be interesting to see.
Parrish Okung dominated the college scene at Baylor, rushing for over 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns his senior season. Okung's game is based on balance and speed. He has a very low center of gravity and has outstanding balance. He's very hard to take down with the first hit, despite his small stature. And he has that home run speed to make some big runs and isn't afraid to take the ball inside as well. Okung might look short out on the field, but he stands tall when it comes to production and filling up the stat sheet.
So now that we've hit basically all of the draft stories, Reggie Fletcher goes. Fletcher was a player I was thinking of taking, but we do get to keep the Mike Vrabel pick here at pick 32, so we can kind of talk about what I did with my draft decision at the top of the board. And before we quite get into the Shazer versus Gunn talks, I do see Lance Spence still on the board. For a team that needs a number 3 receiver, he has good hands. I'm liking Lance Spence. Ryan Garrity was also a player who was a draft story. He's all right. I don't know if I'm super into taking him. Offensive line, I mean, we do, I guess, need a right guard now since we traded him. We need a right guard and a tight end, though we do have Max Jean-Giles on the team still, who's been here for a couple of years. We do just have nothing at tight end, though, which is why I was kind of eyeing potentially Reggie Fletcher to be our tight end of the future. But when it comes to what to do here, I looked at the trade options. There wasn't anything that I liked, nothing that made us move down enough for us to feel comfortable. We're gonna pick Lance Spence here. So bottom of the first round, wide receiver. Last year, you can remember we traded away Antoine Randall for a late first round pick. This year we take a wide receiver. The Lions, I think the Lions have had such an interesting draft strategy of, you know, trading with us, getting Chris Cooley, getting a Pro Bowl right guard in Davin Joseph, drafting a wide receiver in the first round, and then looping back around in the second round to select their quarterback, McCormick. I think that that's an interesting strategy. I don't think it's a bad one to try and get as many talented players as you can to surround a quarterback. Would you rather, you know, throw a quarterback out into the fire and have him have no help, or, you know, get some surrounding guys, maybe draft a lesser of a prospect, hope he could develop well with the good pieces around him? So I think it was an interesting strategy they went with there. In the second round, I don't like what's on the board, so I'm looking to trade, and I think a trade is going to be ultimately what I do here. So I think it's finally time we talk about Chad Gunn versus Jermaine Shazer, and for me, Jermaine Shazer did show that he, potential-wise, could have good accuracy down the line, but I am very much thinking about this from the point of view of the time period we are in. If it were today, and in today's NFL, Jermaine Shazer's a runaway number 1 overall pick, whereas a guy with the lack of mobility of Chad Gunn wouldn't be a first-round pick, potentially, with that little of athleticism, because in today's NFL, you can't be a Brady-level athlete coming out in the draft. You need to be able to move a little bit at the quarterback position, but you didn't need to do that 15 years ago. That is just something that is a product of the time period and a product of the plays that we have at our disposal here. This is a guy for our offense with 2 burner receivers, and especially into Fazio Combs, who can get over the top. We want a quarterback with the arm to get the football down the field, something Jared May didn't always do. How many times was also Jared May would hang passes out in the air, would throw some rubber duckies, would not have the power he would need to get the football where he needed to get it, have the zip on the football. Chad Gunn's going to erase some of those issues. Not only that, I could have gone and changed up this offense entirely and implemented some QB run plays and done some stuff to get him on the move a little bit, but I felt like it was easier with the structure of our offense and how we formulate things to go and slot him in a spot where it's a more seamless transition. I wouldn't have to build Jermaine Shazer's ability to throw the football and play in structure from the ground up. He had like 30 learning. He was a player who had a lot less accuracy, a lot less of a ceiling on accuracy, even though his ceiling wasn't bad, a lot less of a ceiling on accuracy. And yeah, he is going to be able to outrun a lot of defensive players. Yeah, he's going to have some big run plays, but we just need somebody to utilize the pieces that we have on offense. at their highest capability, who is going to get more out of Santana Moss and DeFazio Combs and Calvin Cashmont and everything? Who's going to get the most out of those guys as a thrower of the football? I think it's Chad Gunn. He fits this team more. He fits what I want to do more. And as exciting as Jermaine Shazer is, the lefty quarterback who's super fast, I mean, that's Michael Vick 2.0 right there. As exciting as that would be, I am going with the old head thing of the more traditional quarterback. And I feel like everybody also would just go and pick Jermaine Shazer because that's what everybody does. But how about, what does things look like with a 46 speed quarterback in Chad Gunn, who's just got a cannon right arm, who has the strongest arm in the league potentially from day one? These are the decisions as a talent evaluator you make, and in a couple of years you can look like an idiot or you can look like a genius. Yes, I traded away Jared May, who was a quarterback who won a playoff game for us and had a career-winning record. I traded him away basically for a second-round pick, moved up a bunch, and selected a guy who was deemed a strong-armed, gimmicky offense, empty stat guy. Well, I mean, I know he's got a lot more athleticism, but the last Texas Tech quarterback to put up high numbers to get discredited and, maybe not go as high as he could have in the draft, and Patrick Mahomes, I think it turned out okay. I know, like I said, he doesn't have the athleticism of Patrick Mahomes, but he's got the arm. He's definitely got the arm. And going up and, basically ignoring the draft consensus, Schefter and all these other players said, yeah, Jermaine Shazer's the guy. He's the number one guy. Not to me, he wasn't. It's Chad Gunn. And this is a situation where I'm going to be out on an island here, but I could be proven to be right. And this is an instance where I'm just saying, trust me, as a team leader, as a coach, as the offensive mind, trust me. And if I'm wrong in a couple of years, and I whiffed hard, and Jermaine Shazer goes and wins a Super Bowl and wins an MVP or whatever, and Chad Gunn is just a gimmicky, strong arm, no real anything else quarterback, he's just a guy who could throw the ball really far and that's about it, then hey, I'll get fired, and it is what it is. But I think I'm going to be right on this one. I trust my ability to work with him. I trust my ability to scheme things up for him. I trust that he is going to be the right player for us. I don't know how popular that's going to be. Actually let me know. Comment down. Chad Gunn versus Jermaine Shazer, or maybe you thought somebody else, but between those two quarterbacks, who would you have taken in this scenario? Who would you have gone after? What do you think of that decision? Is that going to be one I regret? Am I going to regret getting rid of Jared May? Am I going to regret not taking Jermaine Shazer? What's that going to look like? So I know I've kind of talked over the draft, but it hasn't been overly eventful. I basically got out of the second round. I'm not a big fan of this draft class outside of some of the high-end players. This was definitely a top-heavy draft class, but one player I did really like here, Lamar Rhodes. Really impressive player, a lot higher than he probably was projected to be taken, but the 95 learning and a nice set of skills definitely interests me. But in the third round, I took a tight end who was comped to Chris Cooley. Think that makes a lot of sense because, well, we just got rid of Chris Cooley. How about get a player who's comped to him? And then with our other third round pick, we took a linebacker, just kind of see what we can do there, get a pass rushing linebacker. I think he was comp. He had a good comp to him, but in our fourth round pick here, I think it's also time we fill in some of these other spots that we desperately needed. Ari Herman, a kicker. We need a kicker badly, and I am tired of this. I am tired of getting a bummy kickers out here. Let's just get a guy and develop him and work on him. He's got 91 power, 87 accuracy as a rookie. That's pretty solid. 87 accuracy is pretty quality stuff for a rookie kicker, so we'll take that. That's going to be our kicker of the future, and we're on to the sixth round where we're kind of looking at other areas here. Defensive tackle and defensive line is always an area you can never have too much of. The only position we really couldn't address that much for, I guess, a starter long-term is the guard spot, because trading away Davin Joseph, I mean, we're taking a sixth-round guard here. Obviously, we don't think he's going to be the future, but I mean, after keeping Maxine Giles for all these years, having him as kind of our sixth man on the offensive line, he's going to slot in, be a starter, high floor player, but, definitely like a solid weak link to have. But we're definitely going to look to try to fill in guard for the future, maybe next draft, maybe a move pops up for us. But another thing with Chad Gunn is the lack of mobility. Yeah, obviously that stinks. He's not going to be able to outrun anybody, make anybody miss. But when you have maybe the best offensive line in the league, arguably, I think our offensive line is pretty dang good. We should hope that he's not going to get touched very much because, I think the draft strategy would be a little different if we had a stinky offensive line. If we had a bum offensive line, we would need a guy who would be able to make guys miss and play some hero ball a little bit. But we don't need Chad Gunn to be a superstar. We just need him to be a good, nice, reliable option for us who can do what we need to do. And it's going to be a hefty price. Remember, this isn't like in real life where you get the fixed rookie deals and you get a 4-year contract with the 5th-year option. You get a cheap quarterback. This is where we paid Chad Gunn over $10 million per year, which, I mean, in today's NFL, $10 million for a quarterback is a bargain. But back then, paying your quarterback on a rookie deal that much, that's a pretty decent, sizable amount of your cap space right there. Quarterbacks are getting paid, $15 million in 2008 is when the contracts were based off of. So we're paying him a lot. And I said I wouldn't give out a contract to a quarterback that I didn't think could be great. I think Chad Gunn can be great. So we're going to, fill in the rest of these guys. And, I think the important thing here is going to see how good some of these players are going to be able to be. So there is a few little moves that I think I need to make, and that is going to be trading for a tight end, and not like a crazy one. He's 76 overall, but Aaron D'Antonio was a player who had a little bit of a draft story last year, and I mean, I don't trust drafting that Katnick dude in the 3rd round to just come out and be our tight end. I'd rather somebody who's got a little, like a year under his belt, and it's not a hefty price. It's a 76 overall tight end. Like, it's a big downgrade still from Chris Cooley, but Broderick Bunkley and 2 6th-round picks is definitely something that I'd be fine parting ways with. Like, it's not a hefty price. It's maybe even a little bit of an overpay since we're giving up a higher overall player and 2 draft picks, but we needed a stopgap fill-in tight end. This is a dude who, in that second year there, that's the preseason. He played 1 year. He's in his 2nd season. He's got like a solid ceiling to him. I just want a guy who can be a unspectacular but solid hands player, and he's actually got pretty solid hands for, relative to players in this game. And then there's one more move I want to make, and I think there's no better thing you can do when you draft a rookie quarterback like this than to give him some comfort. Robert Metcalf was his teammate at Texas Tech and broke the school record for receptions by a running back. And he was in the draft stories this year. They even talked about him, how he was the teammate of Chad Gunn. And I mean, even though he'll be a number 2 running back, this was already a player I considered drafting last year, and I didn't. We're going to end up trading for him here, though. Chris Gamble, a 4th and a 6th for a backup running back. I know maybe that's a little much for a backup running back, but I want to give Chad Gunn somebody he's comfortable with. He was a teammate of. I love when, you draft a quarterback and you give him somebody that he is familiar with. That is important to do. So Robert Metcalf, very much a similar player to Cashma, undersized, but he's got a little bit more receiving ability to him. He didn't touch the ball a single time in his rookie year in Denver, so it's not like they're trading away some dude who was just doing so much for them last year. He didn't even touch the football. So, I think that's a pretty valid trade to make, and I said I was looking for a backup running back. He's got 85 catching. He's got some good vision to him. We'll see how he does in this number 2 role, and that's basically going to be how the roster is going to be put together. We'll take a look at the potential of these players, and, we'll go from bottom to top. So Darrell Leak, this was a guy we drafted in the 3rd round. He's not crazy, 81 potential. He's probably just going to be a pretty nice backup for us, but, you draft a little differently when you're a contending team. And I do genuinely feel like we're a contending team. Also, he's an incredible pass rusher, so I think there's a little bit more there to him. Mike Katnick, 82 potential. Again, his ceiling is just a okay tight end, a really low-end starter, high-end backup. He can catch. He's got some decent run after catch abilities to him. Like, he's just a well-rounded, solid tight end. I like the carrying too, because, if you're not going to be a superstar for this team, just hold on to the dang ball is what I'd say. We do have some fumbling issues on this team. Anthony Hall, undrafted player, looks pretty nice. Jason Wilson, undrafted player. Another undrafted player here, so some 80 potential guys. Our kicker, Ari Herman, has 87 potential, so we'll take that. Another okay receiver. But how about Lamar Rhodes? A absolute, not just a home run, but a grand slam draft pick. 88 overall with 91 potential. He can have a max of 94 power, 85 finesse, 90 tackle, 89 hit power, 94 block shed, 89 pursuit, 92 play arc, 95 awareness. Not going to be super strong, but 82 strength, 78 speed. The strength is probably why he fell in the draft, but he could be a ridiculous player for us, and he's going to be good day one. So happy to have that. And Lance Spence, we knew about Lance Spence and Chad Gunn's potential. We had them full scouted, but here's what Lance Spence could be. Not a super blazing speed guy, but 91 speed, could have 94 catching, 91 route running. His spec catch is already maxed out at 81. His catch on traffic will never be great, but for a future number 2, but at the very least a really good number 3 receiver for us. We're happy to have that. And then the guy, Chad Gunn. He's a 79 overall day 1 with 92 potential. He could get up to 99 throw power with 93 accuracy. So he's going to be pretty awesome potentially if we can get that accuracy up. 91 awareness, that's huge. He'll never be faster. 46 speed is what he is. 70 strength, you know, like he's not going to do anything other than that. But 95 injury, 95 stamina, so pretty durable. And, you know, got the 79 learning at his max is okay, but like he is a strong arm and can be a pretty accurate quarterback. So this is what the team's going to look like. Chad Gunn going to be the starting quarterback next year, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Fazio Combs. It'll be Lance Spence being the number 3 wide receiver. I sacrificed a little bit of this offense. I mean, we didn't bring back Hines Ward. We got rid of Chris Cooley and replaced him with Aaron D'Antoni. We got rid of our right guard. There's the offense as a whole, I guess, took a step back talent-wise, but I think it's to take a step forward production-wise. So the offensive line is still really good. Like, I mean, the right guard situation is still perfectly fine, and that's your weak link. Howard Sanders still back there. This offensive line's great. On defense, it's looking awesome. Calais Campbell, 92 overall, fully like at his peak right now. Lamar Rhodes is basically just going to pass up Edwin Smith, who was our second-round pick last year, but I mean, great depth to have that. The defensive line is stacked on the depth, so much so that I moved Emeka Morning into D-tackle to play our number 2. And the only other big change we had, Ronaldo Moon being our number 2 corner now. So let me know what you guys all thought of how this season unfolded. Did I make the right decision? Did I mess up? Will I regret it? Will I be right? Will I be vindicated? Or will I be fired? Let me know what you guys all thought. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really excited for what this team will look like next year and what Chad Gunn can do, and if my vision can come to life and maybe prove that I'm not too crazy after all for making the decisions that I've made. I'll see you guys all in the next one.